Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, I think I'm getting sick. Randomly hit me like about an hour and a half ago. I'm okay though. Shavua Tov, everyone. Happy New Week. Can you make religious chat in Discord? Yeah, we can do that. It's not a bad idea. Try to keep my Discord somewhat minimal, because I don't like those Discord chats that have like 50 different channels. But that's not a bad one. It's not a bad idea. Oh, man. Let me message Quixie before I forget though. Shavua Tov. Hello, TikTok, YouTube, what's up? YouTube, Round War 2 Electric Boogaloo. What's up, Nick? Hey, everyone. Hello. Appreciate that YTR3NA. White Trena. Spread the word. Nick is live. Yeah, share the live out. Double tap the screen. I don't know how it works on YouTube. I'm old and Discord confuses me. Let's just talk here.
Can you open the
That's
door
fair.
for her? I can't actually get up there.
What's up, Unk? What's up? What's up, everyone? Okay,
Thank you.
I didn't get notified. If you didn't get notified, that's why you should be on the Discord. You go to nickmatau.com. You can go straight to the Discord, and then you can get notified via Discord, because sometimes YouTube and TikTok just doesn't work that well. Yeah. All right. Let's get right into it. Grant Tilla, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Do you want to talk about gas prices?
Not really.
I mean, okay, kind of a simple topic. I don't know how far we can get down gas prices, but sure, go ahead.
I just want to clarify before we start a debate. Do you think that in any way the closing of the Strait of Hormuz has an effect on the global market that's at least in some way influenced gas prices in the United States?
Of course, nobody can deny that unless they're being dishonest. Of course, it does.
Mm-hmm. And do you think there's any means by which we could have prevented that?
Prevented what?
The strait being closed in the first place.
Yeah, of course there is. There's many different. So, what is your question? Why are you being so vague?
I'm just saying this because you know how it's closed in the first place because of the onset of the conflict.
Right.
And don't you think there could have been?
When you ask, you're effectively asking me without saying it. Hey, do you think there's multiple different timelines that could have played out? Yeah, no shit. I think that's
No. What I'm getting at is
true for every single. Hold on, I relax. I think that's true about every single day and every single scenario. But I don't think that means that you should always go down those paths. Now, if you have a more specific question instead of beating around the bush, you could go for it, but that's my answer so far.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, don't you think that instead of engaging the conflict that completely evaporated 20% of the global oil market, don't you think that Trump...
completely evaporated? What do you mean by that?
It's destroyed 20% of the oil market because 20% of oil passes on the global oil market passes through the Strait of
That's
Hormuz.
not how the market works at all. Because okay, that's not how the market works regardless, even whether we're talking about oil prices, stock markets, even, forex, etc. That's not how the market works. But continue on with your question.
That was the question.
Oh, well, then you're just wrong. That's not how the market works.
How am I wrong?
That's not how the market works. Your question is how does the market work?
No.
Oh, what is your question?
I know how the market works, but how does in any way one method of the oil supply chain being closed, how does that not affect the market?
I already said it does affect the market.
Yeah.
I already said this like 5 minutes ago.
Then where do you claim that I was wrong in my statement?
I said that's not how the market works. You don't well, first off, weird word, but I'll use your word. You don't evaporate the market. The market is affected really
Oh,
off of everyone's.
obviously, when I
Okay,
say
why do you keep
evaporate the,
interrupting me?
sorry, no, you're just strawmanning me.
I'm not
Obviously, when I
strawmanning you.
say
I'm quoting you. It's hard to strawman when I use your
when I
exact
say
words.
evaporate, sorry, when I say evaporate the market, I don't mean literally disintegrate oil barrels. I meant obviously, you know what I mean is you're evaporating one supply chain.
Yeah, again, that's just not how the market is affected more off of people's fear, actually. It's not a
The futures
20%
market,
accuracy.
yeah.
In fact, it could be much worse than 20%. It can be better than 20%. It has nothing to do. Anyways, what is your question? Your question is just do I believe that you ran away? Oh, okay. Wow. What a start. Hey Nick, do you think that the market gets affected by closing a strait that has yes, of course. I think the better question would be, do I think that if it's worth it or not? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea actually where he was going towards. What a fucking dummy. Okay, Kevin, go ahead.
Something is going on that we're
Kevin?
not aware of.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume you didn't mean to come up. Demand is the same even if 20%. Yeah, exactly. That's true. I think what he was trying to say, but he was just like, I don't know, trying to beat around the bush. Sorry guys, I think I'm getting sick. Anyways, I think what he was trying to say is, do I think that the war was worth the increase in gas prices? And then I would say yes. But I think he just didn't really want to say that. Somebody said instead of Nick Mattel, Sick Mattel. That's hilarious. That's actually pretty funny.
Thank you, Lammy. Sick
All right.
mental? Yeah, we don't want that. I'm kind of sick too, but
Yeah, it's all right.
he takes it worse than me.
This isn't the first time. This isn't the first time I've done a live and have debated while sick. They still lose the debates, but you know.
You don't really have to go live.
Maybe it's it acts like a challenge, maybe? Not really? I don't know. You guys, while we're waiting for oh shit, hold on, I'm reconnecting on TikTok. There we go. Did I disconnect for a second on TikTok?
Not for me.
Oh, that's weird. It said reconnecting. Anyways, while we are waiting for some people to request or join the Discord if you guys want. I'm on the Discord Nick's Debate Studio if you guys want to. For example, if you're not on TikTok, you're on YouTube or X and you want to speak with me, you can go there as well, and we can debate that way. everyone on YouTube and TikTok are telling me to get Jewish penicillin, aka chicken soup. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I actually think I'll order us both.
You know, it's actually kind of funny.
Do you want a sandwich or no?
No, that's okay. I got something with Dylan. But yeah, you can get me a chicken soup.
soup?
That'd be great.
Cool.
What's funny is when I got with my wife, who is Jewish and my Mossad handler, obviously. Because according to X, a lot of people said I was she's a honeypot. She honeypotted me into supporting Israel, even though I was supporting Israel before I met her. But she's a really efficient honeypot. She honeypotted me before she even met me. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, when she told me about Jewish penicillin, hey, thank you so much, Kirk Burner. I would tell her, because I grew up more in Mexican culture, and for us, it was Vicks rubbed on the chest, and 7-Up, and Menudo, or there's other things. I personally liked Menudo. Some people liked Sole better, but I liked Menudo. And so I thought that was kind of funny, you know, the two cultures clashing. Anyways, you can't find the Discord, just go right here to, well, if you're on TikTok, I'm pointing to nothing right now. But if you're on YouTube and X, you see me pointing to nickmatau.com. And then once you do there, you will it'll take you, if you already have Discord, it'll send you the invite like automatically. It like directs it automatically. And then once you go in, and I'm sure there's probably some stuff you have to answer to like get into my channel. If you go down to the very bottom, I think you might have to click more. You'll see these voice channels. Don't go into the one that says chit chat or even debate channel. Go into the one that says call into the stream, and you have to go into the waiting list. PK has done it, and then from there I move you into the debate studio. PK, just give it 1 second. I have one more thing to say. Just so you guys know, in the Discord, there's somebody who is a pretty big mod on a Discord channel called, I think it's called Politics or something like that. There's like 112,000 people in it. And they want me to do a debate night, which we have set up, probably going to be Saturday night, so 1 week from right now. And I don't have a time per se yet. I hope it matches with the time I already go live anyways, but we're going to see. We might shift it a little bit just because we want the most people to join. But essentially, a lot of people know me in that channel, especially because of the Sneeko debate, and they want to debate me. So it's pretty much going to be, we're going to set that night aside, and it's going to be like a, you want to debate Nick Mattel, here's your chance kind of night for this channel. It's a very, very, very big channel. So that's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be on Saturday. All right, let's move over PK over to the it's right here. PK, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
Good. How are you? This is less of a debate. This is actually a question. Have you read Abba Aban's My Country?
Appa Aban? Man, that
Abba Aban, yeah.
it's called My Country? No, I've read one that sounds almost just like that. It's called like My. Hold on, what's it? Let me look at the cover page, because I feel like I've read that, but I don't think I have.
Like blue.
I think I have read that. Hold on, let me go to my bookshelf. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's one of the earliest books I have.
Okay.
But it's been a while, obviously.
Yeah. This is not really particular to his book. You don't need to have actually read it to know. But so one thing that Abba Aban kind of contends with in his book is this Azam Pasha quote, which I'm sure you know, the one about Mongol conquest.
Okay, yeah.
You know the quote?
Oh, no, I thought you said, do I know the Mongol conquest? No, what quote?
No. Okay, so Azam Pasha was the leader of the Arab, or he's like Secretary General of the Arab League in 48 when they invaded Israel. And he basically, I think a year before they invaded, he made a quote that said, when Israel, like when the British leave, when we invade Israel, it will be a massacre of the likes of the Mongol conquest, something along those
Oh,
lines.
yeah. You know what? The person that taught me that quote was Hebrew Hammer. He has this like entire list of all the quotes that are somewhat similar to stuff like that from the early Arab leaders, and I remember him talking about that one once.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, that guy, he's called Azam Pasha. He was the Secretary General of the Arab League. And so one thing that Abba Aban kind of mentions a lot in this book is that quote, and he talks about how the Zionists were like very afraid of basically getting genocided again.
Right.
And but then when I read other people like Benny Morris and that, they seem to put less emphasis on this quote. Like they say it wasn't really a big deal at the time for the. So I was wondering. I guess you don't know the quote, but my question to you was going to be: do you know how much of an impact this kind of quote or this sentiment was among the early Zionists? Like, were they afraid of being genocided, or was it
Well,
more like,
that
oh, we're going to have a war?
yeah, I can speak to that one because a lot of even the New Age historians actually kind of talk about this. Yeah, everyone in the TikTok chat, we got it. It's Eben, actually, Eban.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, even people kind of in the chat are saying it a little. They're putting EVEN. I'm seeing on, well, at least when I looked at the book I have on the bookshelf, it was EBAN. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so there was a lot of people, a lot of the New Age historians actually talk about how both sides had this kind of fear for essentially an existential threat beyond just like war, right? But yes, it was they both had this fear, is what the New Age historians. I don't really know how the Arabs would have had this fear so much because they had the ability to just leave willy nilly. They could go to Jordan, they could go to Iraq. But the New Age historians, a lot of them are a little bit more left wing, but they do talk about this and how it affected the way both sides kind of fought during the 1948-49 war, and how, Irgun would be a lot more aggressive and they would do some more aggressive things that are criticized today, and of course the Arab side doing a lot of things that are criticized today. And it's in the context that they both believed, quote unquote, that it was an existential threat and it wasn't just like another war. And so, not that it's necessarily that means you can do whatever you want and everything's okay. It's just, it's important to read things in the mindset of the people that were, there at the time.
Yeah, I agree. My one thing that makes me kind of a bit cautious about this is it seems like there was kind of a lack of really bad massacres on both sides. Like there was, I guess, one on the Arab side was the Gush Etzion massacre, and then one on the Israeli side was Deir Yassin. But aside from that, like it seems like most sides were pretty like observant to the rules of law. Like they were taking POWs, they were trading POWs with each other. So it's like it seems like if you really thought you were being gonna be genocided, you wouldn't be so observant to the rules of law.
Yeah.
But it seems like aside from like you said, Lehi, Gun, and some of the Arabs,
Honestly,
they mostly like were abiding.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, even a lot of the anti-Israel people like to bring up these onesie-twosie examples. You want to know, to point out what you're saying, how there wasn't really a lot of massacres, or that wasn't a systematic rule? Because if it was, you wouldn't be able to name examples, right? It's not something. If it's systematic, there's 400, 500 villages that were that faced displacement. Not necessarily because, the IDF or the Israeli forces or Jewish forces, if we're going pre-1948, necessarily attacked them all. A lot of it was just because, they were scared of war, and so they left before, the war even entered their neighborhood. But still, when you're talking about in the terms of hundreds and hundreds of villages and hundreds of sub battles, if you will, from both sides, and you're only able to name like these kind of onesie twosie examples, that just shows that it wasn't systematic. If it was systematic, you wouldn't really be able to be like Dare Yassin. You wouldn't really be able to. Now, for me, I would say the worst one, like if I were to criticize the Israeli side, it actually wasn't even the 48-49 one. It was not until 1953. It was called the Akibya massacre, is what they called it, and it was kind of based off of a somewhat faulty intelligence. Not really. So Kibya was an area where they were being attacked consistently. So at the time, Jordan controlled it, and there was a lot of terrorists that came from that area and were attacking Israel. So it's not like it was faulty intelligence, but it ended up being significantly more civilians and not as many. The terrorists were kind of using it as a jumping ground, if you will, but it's not like they were living there all the time, and it's not like they were particularly coming from that neighborhood. And so when they went through, they attacked, and they took out a large amount of areas with explosives. They didn't warn that they were going to attack it. Israel kind of went in, and they were like, hey, this is where a lot of terrorist attacks come from, so in the midst of the night we're going to attack this place. And I don't know how many people died, but it was overwhelming amount of just like civilians. And so that wasn't even the 48-49 one. But it's not a systematic thing. That's the thing, is people like to come up and they say, hey, did you know about this one specific village in 1948? And this shows that Israel is just evil and we should stop funding them today or something. It's like, it's a weird argument.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Kibya one, fun fact, that was Arik Sharon, who became a prime minister later. But
That's true. Yeah.
there was have you heard of Kfar Qasim massacre?
Yeah, I've actually been to Kfar Qasim.
That was also a pretty, yeah, I've been.
That's true.
That was also a pretty bad.
You know
one.
what? Yeah, that's the Kfar Qasim one. Actually, the information didn't get released until about a couple years ago, or maybe a few years ago, because it got declassified. But I do remember that because I have been to Kfar Qasim last time I was in Israel, and I remember kind of learning a little bit about that.
Yeah. One last final thing before I go.
Sure.
I'll just as kind of just more of a observation of this, but one really annoying thing with the Arab side is they will use any like massacres or bad actions on the Israeli parts, like Kfar Qasim, like Kibya, like Deir Yassin or whatever, and they use it to try and like justify the eradication of Israel, like deny the existence of Israel.
Sure.
Whereas on the Israeli side, when they point out Arab massacres like Gush Etzion, it's like, it's more to bring out like, oh yeah, see, this bad thing happened. It's not like, oh, because this happened, now Jordan shouldn't be a country.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you can look at the history of any country, relatively younger countries like Jordan, or like middle-ish like America, or very, very old countries. If you look at anyone and criticize them by their own
like
logic,
when the Russians did what they did, nobody stepped
right?
out to.
Yeah, by their logic, nobody should exist.
Yeah, and I think that's one issue why like a lot of Zionists will kind of be very hesitant to accept the wrongdoings of the past, just because it's used like against them to deny their existence. And I understand that kind of trepidation to accept the wrongdoings of the past when it's used in that way.
No, that's true. I think Israel, Jewish people in general, but Israelis specifically, do have this like kind of defensive measure, and I don't blame them, because every little thing is used against them. And in the end, you're right. Sometimes it's okay to say, yeah, some things we don't have all the information, but from the information we do have, yeah, some things are, they can be somewhat stains on the country. But again, there's a difference between, just like every country ever in history, there's some stains, especially at the start of a war, or start of a country. But Israel did have existential threat right away. The second they become a country, existential threat, and it's almost really never gone down. It's gotten better over the years as they've been able to make somewhat peace with some of these countries, but like, they pretty much have had to deal with that from the very minute that they became a country. But sometimes it's okay to be like, yeah, there are some things that looks bad, but just like every other country, the difference is does that mean we shouldn't exist? Of course not.
Yeah. All right. Well,
thank you.
I'll see you later.
Yep. Have a good one. There you go. Fight Sport, go ahead.
Sorry, man, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I just had to stop YouTube. Thanks for having me. I'm got a different channel dedicated to these kind of politics. I am definitely pro-regime change. I've got no issue with that. My issue is, first of all, it's not to do with Israel specifically. I'm not anti-Israel. I just critique Israel like I do every other country. It's to do with Netanyahu. And because Trump, there are some things I like about him, some things that don't. Because he's done things that he shouldn't have, like he should have prepared troops before he authorized the first strike back in February. I think I just think there's things Trump could have done that are things that uh, he should have done that would have helped the situation. And because this is likely going to define his presidency, God forbid they actually impeach him, I think this is a pretty big issue.
I think you're being panicking a little too much. Nobody's gonna impeach him. Two, what did you mean by have troops ready? What does that mean?
Well, I think he should have had troops ready when he knew he was going to intervene, rather
Yeah,
than
what do you mean? The
do the
troops were ready.
strikes.
I'm just a little confused what you mean by that.
Well, he didn't deploy them. Like the story is that he was going to deploy troops to secure Kurg Island and the 82nd Airborne Division.
Why would you
Like,
why would you do that before? That kind of gets rid of the element of surprise, and instead of having the victories that we do have, which is eliminating pretty much the entire IRGC leadership within the first 30 seconds, right? Obviously they've been replaced. We're not saying we've eliminated the IRGC in 30 seconds, but that was quite the hit. You would have gotten rid of that, and instead
okay,
what?
well, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy to be wrong on this, but because okay, here are a couple of things which, again, this is not just my opinion. This is experts I've interviewed who have said this, that because even though they took out most of their air force and navy, and yeah, the Ayatollah and a bunch of his supporters and the leader of one of the key leaders of the army very early on, the Iranians were able to. First of all, they, even if they didn't officially blockade the Hormuz with a navy, they still managed to stop ships from moving. And Kurg Island
That would have happened
would have been
anyways.
harder. Well, if Trump had deployed more than just a couple of aircraft carriers, then he could have potentially prevented that, because he also gave the Iranians a chance to try and
Oh, well,
lay
hold on, wait a
traps
minute. Who? I don't know
in
what
Kurg Island.
experts you've been speaking to, but first off, Karg Island, although I'm not saying I would be against them taking it, that's not nearly as important as when you say deploying aircraft carriers. First off, it's 21 nautical miles in the chokehold of the Strait of Hormuz. I don't want my navy that close, even though the IRGC is very much weakened. If they're right there, they can very much attack those ships and actually be, after some time, successful. I don't think that's a good plan at all. I'd much rather them just close the strait. Yeah, people are going to have to spend more on gases. It hurts the global economy, which, by the way, Trump is using actually to his advantage. We got dozens of billions of dollars the other day because over 120 oil tankers came to the United States to get oil. We're doing deals right now with Indonesia because believe it or not, the Straits of Malacca are actually bigger oil chokehold in the world than the Straits of Hormuz. Hormuz is actually number 2, and we're working to actually have a partnership to secure that area, and we are securing every energy lane. America is, from essentially the Straits of Hormuz all the way to Eastern Asia and through. And so we're actually doing this to, when this war does end, sooner or later, we're actually in a position to have energy channels be shifted to America permanently. And that's actually incredible. I didn't even think that he was even planning on doing something like that. Now, of course, we'll see. Not just because he's planning for that doesn't mean it's always going to work out, but even if half of it works out, I think that's a pretty good thing.
Well, I agree. If he can get some deals that are long lasting, like the ones you just mentioned, like what he's done with Japan, and these last a long time, then 100% that is good for the country. But another thing that Trump, in my opinion, this if this turns out bad, this mistake could end up being unforgivable. Is that he clearly didn't work with he clearly didn't correspond enough with NATO before he launched the attack, which
Why would
is
you
what
do
it
that?
is.
For what? For what? What exactly can NATO
Oh,
provide?
support. Trump asked for
Okay, so
support.
you're saying NATO would provide support?
Well, they would go back and forth like they normally do. And look,
So
it's better
you want
to.
to lose complete element of surprise, right? By your plan and these experts you spoke to, again, I don't know who you're talking about. You think it would be better to actually start talking to NATO, who's proven that they're not really our allies. They're not even letting us use bases for defensive reasons, airspace in some cases, right?
Sorry, not to interrupt, but I disagree with that.
Okay. Please tell me, who's the strongest in NATO other than America?
Thank you.
Well, that's not my argument. Yes, of course.
Can you just
America
answer the
is-
question? I
America-
promise you it's related. Who's
America.
the strongest in NATO? No, other than
America.
America. Obviously, America's the answer. Other than America. Is it the UK?
I don't know what. Yes, and Keir Starmer is useless.
Okay, so the UK right now, they have 17 major boats for international deployment. Can you guess how many are not usable right now of those 17?
I don't know the exact
Just
numbers.
take a guess.
Starmer is useless.
Just take a guess. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with. I mean, yes, it has to do with him too, but this dates back before him as well. Take a guess. Take it out of the 17. Guess how many are not usable.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
17. All of them. They're all not usable. They said 16 of 17. They deployed one and immediately had to turn it around because it broke. So the second strongest NATO doesn't even have the ability. I don't know if you saw, but the UK just had a meeting the other day and they had to admit that they could not deploy even 1,000 men if they needed to. They said they were not in a position to deploy even 1,000 men. And you're telling me that Trump should have lost the element of surprise, which has literally led us to winning this war right now. I don't give a shit what the panicans are saying or the fucking leftist news. I don't really like how Trump speaks and he kind of flip-flops on what's going on, but the overall sense of the war, of course we're winning. It's not even close. And this idea that you're saying we should have lost all that so we can work with our NATO allies, which easily would have warned the Iranians to essentially go underground and prepare for something instead of catching them by surprise, because we don't have real allies in NATO. France would have told them, if anything. You're saying that we should have worked with what? With who? NATO?
Well, yes,
What?
yes,
How would that have helped? They're not helping us now.
Hold on, can I answer the question? I think, look, I despise most of the leaders you just mentioned. I think that it's better to, okay, shitty allies, a lot of them are woke, they're terrible, they're anti-Western, they're anti-American while Trump is there, all of that, 100% agree. But it's still better to work with them than to, because this is what Trump did. He launched an attack. He clearly, I think most people would agree, hoped that as soon as they take out the Ayatollah, everybody else will panic and they'll say, "Shit,
I don't agree. I don't agree. There's no evidence that says anything that was their plan.
Well, okay, I think that's what Trump was hoping for, but anyway,
but there's nothing for you. There's no reason for you to say that. You're just saying it because you think that's what he. No, there's no reason whatsoever for you to think that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying it just because I'm saying it. Here's the reason: because Trump was very, very quickly saying, "We've won, we've won, we've won," after a few weeks of bombing and.
Bro, that's just how Trump speaks. No, stop. That's one. That's how Trump speaks. Two, that's psychological warfare. That does not translate to, wow, I really hope the country would have fell after taking out the Ayatollah. I promise you, Trump, and really when I say Trump, I mean his advisors, especially in the Pentagon. No one in the world, in the Pentagon, thought that, yeah, the second we take out the Ayatollah, everything will just fall in place. Nobody thought that, and nobody would have briefed him on that.
Okay, Nick, this is.
Let me ask you something. Why is NATO not helping us now?
Because two reasons. One, Trump is very different. Look, I despise a lot of those leaders, but he is very difficult when it comes to NATO.
That doesn't answer my question.
They are thinking I don't know whether we should deal with this guy who's schizophrenic and does things on the whim. Look, I like a lot of things. I love what Trump's doing.
Okay, you're just making shit up right now. You're just if you don't know, just say stop it. If you don't know, just say you don't know. I'd rather you tell me that than try to feed me. Stop interrupting. Stop it. I'd rather you just tell me straight up you don't know instead of just saying like, well, I think maybe Starmer thinks that Trump is schizophrenic. You don't know that. First off, that's insane. Second off, my question is if that's the case, would that have changed if he talked to them before February 28th? Would they have thought he's schizophrenic after February 28th, but before they would have been like, yeah, Trump, we'll help you out?
If he would have talked to them, I think it would have done him a lot,
based off of what?
A lot of good. This is the main reason.
You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question. You're just saying it would have done people good. That's not my question. My question is on February 27th and before, if Trump would have said, hey, I want to attack Iran, You're saying that all of, or at least some of the NATO leaders would have been like, oh yeah, you're great, you're not a schizophrenic, you're awesome, I'll work with you, I'll be right next to you, we'll send our troops with you, even though we don't have any troops to send, but we're going to send them anyways. You're saying that would have happened, but the second February 28th happened, all of a sudden their entire mind shifted? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that he could have done himself a lot of favors if he.
You're not answering my question.
Yeah,
I don't want to know would it have done him favors or not. I want to know, yes, that's what I'm saying, Nick, or no, that's not what I'm saying.
Yes, Nick, that is essentially what I'm saying. But
okay, based off of what? No, you can. I know you keep trying to move past it, but you're making some serious claims right now, so we're not going to move past it. Can you tell me what that's based off of? Because NATO hasn't helped us with anything, which, by the way, I'm not offended by. I want to know why you think and which countries would have joined. Maybe France could have helped. I don't know, but France is definitely not in favor of Trump even on February 27th. So I think you're gonna have a hard time proving that one. But I need you to tell me how you know, based off of what and which countries would have helped Trump if all he did was eliminate the complete element of surprise, which was significantly better than anything NATO could have provided. Eliminate all of that and instead talk to them first. I need you to get specific. Who are these experts you talk to?
Experts I've spoken to are Trevor Loudon and Jeff Nyquist and a few others, but they're the main ones.
So not experts. Got it.
They are experts. They're experts on communism.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
All right, well, you can say that.
It doesn't mean anything with the Iran war.
All right, well, if you want me to answer a question, just give me a second. In terms of countries, I think Italy, until recently, would have been pretty good on this because she did back Trump on a lot of things, and I think Poland would have been pretty good as well. I think diplomacy works better than just doing things on a whim and then putting them in a bit of a...
So you named two countries, and you're saying those two countries helping us. Let's just assume you're right, which I don't actually think you are. Let's just assume you're right, and they would have joined the war with us. You guys
can't see the
right?
box
1 second, please.
He's talking to someone in Discord.
Okay. The second thing, right? Let's just assume that they would have joined. You're saying that would have been better than eliminating, or excuse me, that would have been better than having the element of surprise that we did. That has fractured the IRGC into different factions right now. And if you think so, then tell me why.
No, I don't think he would have lost the element of surprise. I don't think it's as cut and dry as what you're saying.
That's insane. You're saying if he talked to all of NATO, you're saying who would have joined, but really he needs to talk to all of NATO. You're saying that would not have eliminated the element of surprise. Really?
I don't think it would have done as much harm as what you're saying.
No. Element of surprise. Stop. The element of surprise is a thing, or it's not. It's not like you might lose a little. No, once you lose a little, you lose it. That's just how it works. You know that. You're an adult. Yeah. I'm asking you, you're saying if he talked to all of NATO, you're saying that would not have lost the element of surprise. Really?
I don't think it would have been as bad as what you're saying, but also...
What do you mean as... Okay, stop, dude. What do you mean as bad? What does that mean? Element of surprise is not a spectrum. Stop. Stop it. Stop. The element of surprise is not a spectrum, dude. It's not a spectrum. It's you have it or you don't. Do you agree with that before you... Because what you're doing right now is you keep trying to, like, say things and you try to, like, speed past them. I'm asking you, do you agree that the element of surprise, is it a thing or is it not?
It's a thing, clearly.
Great. And you agree it's not a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, fine.
So what do you mean without trying to speed past... Stop doing that, dude. Stop it. Without trying to speed past the conversation when you say something dumb, can you explain to me what you meant when you said it wouldn't be that bad?
Because you could argue the same thing happened before the 12-day war and didn't affect Trump's decision.
All right, let's try it one more time. Can you tell me what you meant is it wouldn't be that bad? What does that mean?
Okay, because you talk to your allies, you say, okay, this is what we're planning to do, this is why, and they're obviously going to say, look, this is going to create chaos and havoc, they're probably going to blockade the Strait of Hormuz, etc., etc. And again, Trump doesn't do well with negotiating sometimes. So, okay, send Marco Rubio there to do it. And he says, look, if you help us, we'll be able to stop them from blockading the Strait.
Okay, you're still not. You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna try one more time. First off, one, Trump wouldn't be the guy to negotiate. He's the president. He always sends delegates. Two, Trump has actually done very well in negotiations with a lot of people when it's indirect. Again, he always sends delegations, but overall, he actually does pretty well with that. By the way, I'm not even this big Trump guy either. I'm not MAGA. I'm a conservative. So the things you're just saying are like literally fucking insane. But again, it doesn't matter because it's not what I asked you. What do you mean by it wouldn't, when it being the subject being the element of surprise? What do you mean it wouldn't have been that bad? What does that mean? Can you just like answer the question so we don't have to take 30 minutes to get past one little thing?
Okay, diplomacy and negotiation with allies, I think, would have outweighed the risk of letting Iran know what you're going to do.
Okay, so well, it's not the risk. It absolutely would have eliminated the element of surprise. There's no doubt about that. Now, you're saying the element of surprise wasn't as important as having two nations join. You said Italy and who did you say?
I said Italy and Poland. Obviously, others. That's the whole point of diplomacy. You try to convince them, hey, you back us.
For how long?
For as long as the operation takes.
No. For how long do you do negotiations before you enter in? Because remember, you wanna be quick with operations. You're the one making the ridiculous. You're the one saying that this would have been better. You're the military expert here. So obviously you want to go in quick. Hold on. Stop. You want to go in quick, right? Because as you said, it's a huge risk as you're negotiating. But at the same time, you want to get as many of NATO on your side. And you're saying right now, Italy and Poland maybe would have joined quickly. Again, I don't agree. But one, what does Italy and Poland have to offer that would have outweighed the risk of essentially Iran not just going underground and saying we need to get ready, we see wars happening, people are mobilizing, now they're talking to NATO. They will know when delegates are talking to NATO. That's not like a secret. They have the ability to figure that out, right? When not only just them going underground, but them actually pulling out some of their solid fuel rockets, cartridges that they have been building for the past really 20 years. Definitely their entire rocket system has been being built since the Iran-Iraq War of the 80s, but I'm talking about their solid fuel. They're going to start pulling that out. Just so you know, the newest intelligence shows that they have had about 60% of their launchers actually buried underground, and because we surprised them, they weren't able to get to that, and now they're working with this ceasefire to get as much as they can out. I don't know how much they'll be able to get out, but under your plan, they would have had all of that out. So now their launchers would have been 160% as damaging and as readily available, and what we gain is Italy, Poland, and maybe some other countries. By the way, some of those countries that might have say, hey, we want to help, doesn't even have the military capability to deploy, at least very quickly or at all. So I'm trying to figure out why which Australia, fuck, Jesus Christ, why you think that would have been better.
He's New Zealand, I think.
Trump asked NATO for assistance with the Strait of Hormuz. He wouldn't have had to do that if he had negotiated with them beforehand.
Okay, so the Strait of Hormuz. So what would they have done differently?
I don't know exactly if they would have been able to open it, but
no, they wouldn't have, right? Because the way Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz is not because of military strength. They just, by the way, we don't even know if they fully did, or well, we know that they did at the beginning, but even to this moment, we don't even know how many mines are out there. They just say that there's mines out there, so people on the private side, which I don't blame them, they're not willing to take the risk. Even if, let's say they open up the Strait of Hormuz, let's say this war ends and all Iran said was, yeah, we have some mines out there, we lost track of them. Guess what? The strait's closed. So this idea of, oh, if we just had Italy on our side, their amazing navy, if we just had Poland's amazing navy on our side, this would have never happened. And you're saying all of that, which, by the way, someone who served in the Navy for 12 years, you're wrong, okay? But you're saying all of that would have been better than eliminating over 400 IRGC sub-commanders to commander level to all the way up to the Ayatollah in the first, just really, you know, this entire time, but even most of that was just in the first days. You're saying it would have been better to have Italy and Poland on our side, which would have done nothing to be able to open up the Strait of Hormuz. I'm just glad you're not a military general, is what I'm saying.
You know what? So am I. I never claim to be an expert, but this is one of the main reasons why NATO doesn't trust Trump. His stance on Russia, and you can't disagree with this. Look,
I don't care. I think we should leave NATO. You're talking to the wrong guy. We should leave NATO. NATO has done nothing for us. We have given so much money to NATO. When we give money to Israel, which over the since the birth of Israel has been $300 billion, give or take. We get something back from that. They use that. In fact, it's almost crazy how they stretch those dollars so thin and use it the way they do. We get information. We get the best fighter pilots, honestly, in the world, including our own. They're very, very good at what they do. Can you explain to me why NATO is so weak, even though we have sent billions and billions of dollars? Where is this money going? I don't know. Maybe you know. Maybe since you're an expert on this or you've talked to experts, tell me where the money has gone to NATO. Why is the UK's fighter ships, right, they're major ones, why are all of them under repair right now?
My guess would be because the UK, and listen, my heritage is English, so this breaks my heart. They're run by woke retards and have been my entire
That's not my
life.
question. My question, I agree with you, of course, but that's not my question. My question is, where has the money gone?
Places it shouldn't have. Okay, this is
And you think we should stay? You think we should stay with NATO?
100%. Why?
Okay.
Are you serious?
Why? Convince me. If, for example, I'm obviously very. Shut up. I'm very pro-Israel, very clearly. If I found out that Israel was even 50% of the money we were giving them, they were actually not really using, places weren't supposed to go, they weren't, actually making missile defense for their Iron Dome, they weren't using it for packages like the F-35s, etc., I would absolutely advocate for cutting that off immediately, as pro-Israel as I am. You need to convince me why it's better to be with NATO after admitting that they're just spending money on things they shouldn't have, whatever that means.
Because NATO was designed to stop Russian expansion, and guess what Russia's doing?
That doesn't answer my question.
Trump's rhetoric is terrible.
How do they? Okay, NATO, great. How are they designed to stop? Like specifically, how is it that they're designed to stop Russian expansion? How did they do that?
Well, they're supplying Ukraine.
That doesn't answer my. Nope. Stop. You said how they were designed. Okay, how they were designed to stop Russia. I need you to do me a favor because you're taking way too long to answer questions. I feel like we're dragging super slowly because you're listening to my questions and then you're not answering them. I didn't say what are they doing right now specifically. You said how they were designed to stop Russian expansion. So I'm gonna ask the question one more time. How was it designed to stop Russian expansion?
After World War, sorry, what? I'm not trying to avoid your question. You're asking me how was it designed?
Okay, you said it was designed to stop Russian expansion. All I said was how effectively, and you're like confused at my question. I'm saying how. Insert your own words. How was it designed to stop Russian expansion? That was your claim. I agreed. That was your claim.
It was okay. Maybe I should have said deterrence would have been a better phrase because that's why Finland joined NATO.
Deterrence for what?
They invaded Ukraine.
Deterrence. Deterrence against Russia.
To deter Russia from expanding.
Oh wow, really working pretty strongly. Okay, let me ask you that then. How was it designed to deter Russia from expanding?
Because it was a military alliance that Russia wouldn't be able to go up against.
Yeah, and how's it doing?
It's failed, unfortunately, in many ways.
So why should we stay with something that's a failure?
Are you serious? If America pulls out of NATO, what do you think Russia?
It's kind of like when you go to Five Guys and you order a burger, but they only give you like a bun and no burger. I wouldn't pay for it. Shout out to anyone who gets the reference. But anyways, dude, you're admitting all these things. It's a failure. It's failed. It doesn't work. They're sending our money, by the way, American money to their own welfare systems. By the way, that's what you meant when you said places it shouldn't. Maybe you just didn't want to say it. Their welfare systems. I'm a little confused. Why should we continue on? You can say over and over, are you serious, Nick? Are you serious? How? Oh my God. I got it. You're offended. Cool, bro. Can you answer my question, though? Why should we stay with something that has taken billions and billions and billions of dollars, our money, and has put it into their leftist, socialist welfare systems? Why? Convince me. I want to be convinced, by the way. I want to have a strong NATO alliance.
Sure. Cool. We're in agreement there. Okay. I'm not offended, first of all. Okay, what Trump should do, in my opinion, this is what
I didn't ask that. I said, convince me why we should continue our alliance in NATO.
Because an alliance that can stand up to Russian expansion, which by the way is I
It
know you know
doesn't.
this.
You already admitted it doesn't. You already admitted
they've done
that.
They've done a hold on. They've done a poor job with Ukraine and before that Georgia and Chechnya, but Finland
No,
joined
no, no,
NATO
no.
shortly
It's not
after.
even. No, no, no. You said it was a deterrence, right? So it's not even about what they've done in Ukraine, right? It's about how the fact that they even did it in the like started it because it's supposed to be a deterrence. It doesn't work. Also, why is this even America's problem?
Because if Russia takes over Europe, which is what Putin wants to do, then the entire world is going to be more at risk than it is now. I know wokeness.
What does that have to do with America? Why can't they form a
America?
European alliance to stop Russia?
Well, they've tried that, and again, it hasn't worked so well.
You're saying 15 countries? Obviously, there's more in Europe, but I'm just saying, let's say 15 form an alliance. You're saying 15 countries can't stop one?
Well, it's not just one. Russia is backed by China.
No, it would still be one, unless you're saying China would join the war, like physically.
Well, they have. Have you seen North Korean
Okay,
troops?
so 2 countries then.
China's mobilizing as well. I mean, I know you know this. You're a former serviceman, but anyway, I'm not saying I like everything.
You're
NATO
not
does.
convincing me at all why we should be sending really trillions of dollars over the years. The only reason I said billions is because I was being conservative with how much they've stolen from the American taxpayer money. But regardless, you have not even done somewhat of a well job at convincing me why we should stay.
Well, okay, I'll try here. If Russia succeeds in Ukraine, then they will push further into Europe, which is Putin has said it explicitly. Then all of Europe will be at risk, and if America will be in a similar situation it was in.
So do we have to send our troops there if they get past Ukraine? Because we've already established that the UK cannot even deploy 1,000 troops. France is stronger than the UK, I would say, but still pretty weakened. I'm not saying that these countries couldn't deploy, but are we supposed to send our troops there because you guys have wasted our money? I'm a little confused. How does this work?
No, I'm not calling for America to deploy troops. I think sanctions and support would be better, and Trump's rhetoric on Ukraine is terrible. So if he could maybe work on that a little bit, then I think that's
so funny how these Europeans feel like they can tell America what to do while stealing our money and telling
I'm not European,
us.
First of all,
I thought you said you were English.
My heritage is English. I'm from New Zealand.
Yeah, no, I know you're from New Zealand now, but I'm talking about your heritage.
Okay, all right.
Okay, anyways, I find it funny that
everyone.
these Europeans feel the need to tell our president, after stealing our money, what he can or cannot do. By the way, I'm not a fan of Russia. Anyone who's been watching me for at least a year or more knows I'm pretty hard on Russia. But this idea that somehow you guys should be telling us, fuck off. You guys have lost your entire countries. There's no reason we should be allies with you guys anymore. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be allies with you guys. I wish you guys were the countries you were 20 years ago at least, if not more. But you're not. I don't understand what do we just keep waiting, hoping that maybe one day you guys will wake up, stop stealing our money, stop becoming more and more leftist, stop letting in Islamist refugees from all these countries that are getting into your electoral system, elections, winning elections. And by the way, while we're waiting, do we just continue to send more and more billions and billions of dollars into your welfare systems?
I wish that wasn't
W
happening.
husband.
Obviously, I wish the money going to NATO was going to the military which, like you said, would do a much better job at deterring Russian aggression. But that's not what's happening.
I'm not asking for your wishes. I'm glad we're on the same page, but that's not my question. My question is do we just wait while we're sending you billions and billions of dollars and hope you just fix yourselves?
No.
Okay, so what should we do? I'm saying we should cut you guys out. You're saying that's crazy. So what's the other option?
Okay, stay in NATO and...
So you agree, send billions and billions of dollars while we wait for you guys to fix yourselves.
Wait a second, stay in NATO and be very aggressive and say, look, we will continue to back you guys, but for the love of God, you've got to change things. I think
Trump has been saying that since his first term. What do you mean? That was 8 years ago. Well, Not
Well,
particularly hate, but
Trump did some good things in his
more
first
than
term. He
hate.
also did a lot of stupid things. So
That doesn't answer my question. So what? That's a whataboutism. It's a complete deflection. You're doing this thing where, first off, by the way, I agree. I'm, again, not the biggest fan of Trump, but so what? What does that have to do with what I just said? You said that the president, whether it be Trump or whoever, should say this to NATO. I said he did say that. Pretty much almost word for word and more, by the way, during his first term. So I'm asking you, his first term was started in 2017, right? I'm asking you, what should he do now that it's been 9 years since that moment? Or do you think he should wait more?
Yes, I think staying in is better than pulling
Okay, how
out.
long? How long? So 9 years is not good enough. Keep waiting, send billions of dollars. Fine. How much longer? How much longer? And by the way, in the past 9 years, it's not even like they started to listen. They've actually gone farther away in the past 9 years. So how long do we wait?
Don't know. I'm not a diplomat.
Okay, well, then your plan is stupid to me. I don't care. My plan makes sense. My plan has an end game. Yours doesn't. Yours is just, hey, you've already did it 9 years ago. Why don't you just keep doing it? Just keep waiting while you waste billions and billions of dollars. That goes nothing. It does nothing for you, by the way. The one time we actually kind of needed NATO, they weren't there for us. So, by the way, it's funny how you said NATO doesn't want to join because Trump went in without talking to them. But it's really funny because NATO just yesterday or 2 days ago has been offering their services now that we've effectively have won. There's significantly less damage and things going on from Iran. I'm not saying they're completely done. Obviously, they still exist. But now it's funny how NATO wants to help us now. And Trump said, yeah, we're good. We don't need people that only helps us after the fact. Right? That actually happened, by the way. So it's really funny how you made up this whole fake narrative that, oh, they would have joined, but they think he's a psychopath now. Or sorry, no, you said schizophrenic. That's what you said.
I said he does things on a whim.
Yeah, very, very funny how now they want to help now that the gist of it has been completed. Yeah, it's very funny how now. Yeah, listen, if your plan is it's been 9 years since his first term, he made all the claims you said he should have. He did all of that and more. If you're saying that he should just continue to wait longer. Jesus Christ. Fuck TikTok. Anyways, your claim is that he should just continue to wait and longer. I'm sorry. I don't agree. That's not a real plan. That's not a real plan at all.
Okay, fine. Well, we can disagree, but this all started with the Iran thing. I was saying where Trump has, in my opinion, done things. He could have done things a lot better. One of the things I said, okay,
I don't care. This is a deflection from our conversation. I don't care.
Well, I'm not deflecting. I'm just saying that's where I started.
I'm not saying you're trying to. I'm just simply saying this is a deflection from our original conversation. I get it. You don't like Trump. You think he should have done things better. Got it.
Well, actually, I do like Trump. I just wish he would do things better.
Okay, sure. This means nothing to me.
Okay, well, do you think this war has gone on exactly how Trump wanted? Because I would strongly disagree.
I don't think any war ever in history goes on exactly how somebody wants it. If you get what you want, there will be 0 deaths. Everything will be finished in the first day because magic, right? It's a stupid talking point. So to answer your question, no, of course not. But I'd have to counter with, can you name one war where it's all, like any war in history, big or small, that goes exactly the way America wants it?
Probably not. But
okay, great.
Okay,
so yeah,
I was obviously being facetious there, but because I hope Trump doesn't get impeached. I really, really hope that is not the case. So if he's able to hold on, great. I'm just saying that there's a much bigger threat from this. And okay, one of the reasons why he should have had troops at the ready is because Israel
troops were at the ready. Troops were at the ready.
Well,
they literally sent an entire fleet command there before they started the war.
Well, they did. Yeah, they sent the fleet command, but they didn't send the 82nd Airborne. That should have been mobilized earlier. Again,
I don't agree. You're talking about ground troops?
Yeah,
I don't agree.
To secure Kurg Island, and
Karg, and no, I don't agree.
All right, but a lot of Iranians who are pro-regime change have been saying that in order to change the regime, you have to arm the people because they don't have weapons. And
they attempted that already.
With who? The Kurds?
Correct, which makes sense because the Kurds are the only forces that have actually kind of know how to use those weapons, to be fair, because that's who the Kurds are. And supposedly the weaponry didn't make it to the right hands. But again, this is... Dude, I think the problem with you is that you are part of this new age that thinks wars need to end almost as quickly as they start. And don't get me wrong, everyone likes to see that. And maybe Trump has spoiled us with that because he has done that a lot. This is not the same beast as like Venezuela, okay? And I get it. Everyone wants that, but that's not how wars work. We are only not even 2 months in. Dude, sometimes even getting ready for a war usually takes 2 months before, even when you do a surprise attack, actually getting into it. We've gone way beyond getting into it. The amount he's done, even in the first month, is insane amount. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I hope it lasts longer. Of course I want it to end. Everyone wants it. Everyone, again, would love for you to go in, everything collapses, the IRGC falls and panics. Yeah, that would have been amazing, but nobody legitimately actually thinks that. You are part of this like new generation that thinks like, you guys are panicans. That's what you are. That's literally what you guys are. You guys believe because of the what happened with the Iraq War, and by you guys, I mean people that seem to love to talk about American policy who aren't Americans. It's so funny how you guys do that. But anyways,
okay, that's fair.
I just think that you guys have this like thing with the Iraq War and Afghanistan. You think it's the same thing, so you panic because the second you see an inkling of what looks the same as the Iraq War, even though it's not really, you guys say pretty much everything you've been saying.
Well, okay, that's fair. I was born in the early 90s, so yeah, my entire life has pretty much been anti-Iraq war. I'm not an isolationist. Again, I really like what Trump's doing with Latin America, and I hope he succeeds. Okay, we disagree on the diplomacy thing, but can you agree on this, that what Trump did, and I understand with Trump, he says a lot of dumb things, so you have to take the good with the bad. But when he started saying there has been a regime change and now we're looking for diplomacy, that is a terrible idea. I mean, he's given the Iranians...
Yeah, dude, welcome to psychological warfare. It's insane how you don't get this. Like, it's insane. I don't know what to tell you. This is psychological warfare, and it's very obvious.
Well, it's also given the Iranians a chance to regroup. Now I agree with you. They're probably going to get destroyed regardless. So
it's also given us a chance to regroup and actually refuel or resupply interceptors and stuff, which is very important. It's more important than not allowing the Iran. First off, the Iranians are hardly regrouping. They're still factioned. You just saw it the other day how the civilian side of the government, if you will, versus like the IRGC strongholds, they're saying different things. Even what it's been like a week into the, I don't know how long it's been the ceasefire, but regardless, like a week or almost a week, they're coming out saying, oh yeah, the Strait of Hormuz, here's the status, and then all of a sudden they're closing it. That's not because they got mad and they're so organized that they just shut it. It's because there's literally factions going on. They're fractured, and that's even into the ceasefire. Yes, it's important for us to do this, dude. Do you think that fuck Trump, dude? Don't even think about Trump. Let's think about the intelligent minds. I used to work at the Pentagon for a little bit, actually. It's insane how intelligent these people are. And I don't care if it's under Obama, Trump, fucking a water bottle can become president. These people are very much the same. They are quick. They understand everything. The amount of intelligence we have is, if I was allowed to say, it's like insane. You think that these people don't know what they're doing?
Given a lot of the military, to answer your question, I think a lot of them don't know what they're doing. Given a lot of the interventions in my lifetime, which have been disasters.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you. So you're talking about like Iraq and Afghanistan, where that was a completely different style of warfare that was so in the past, it's not even a thing that we would do anymore. You're talking about that?
No, I'm talking about more recent ones. I'm talking about Syria. I'm talking about Libya. I'm talking about
what?
Okay,
Syria, we barely did anything with intervention. We were just bombing, dude. We weren't actually trying to accomplish anything.
Well, no, the Obama armed terrorists, which, look, Trump blocked that. I'm glad he stopped that in his first term, but now he's shaking hands with an Al-Qaeda terrorist. Terrible. And Libya,
that doesn't mean anything.
What's happening?
It doesn't mean anything. He controls the country right now. Dude, you're...
No, he doesn't.
Yes, of course he does. We may not like that, but of course he does. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, sorry, I thought you meant Trump controls the country. Okay, he should be sanctioning...
No, Jelani!
Yeah, he should be. He lifted sanctions as soon as Jelani took over. He should have kept the sanctions on. I mean, hell, they should even. I reckon they should try to kill Jelani. To be honest, like you're propping up terrorists.
You think in a fractured country it would have been better to re-enter back into Syria and kill him?
Targeted assassination, whatever. I mean,
why don't you guys do it? Why don't you guys do it then? Why is it that America has to? First off, I don't agree with you. And by the way, that's not because I like Jolani. I don't. But that's insane, dude. It's already extremely fractured. You want to go in and destabilize it even more? That's insane. That's in fact, that's the kind of shit that we used to do that got us into a lot of these positions. I think it's a bad strategy. But if you truly thought that was the right strategy, why the fuck don't you guys do it? Why are you always asking America to do it? You could have done it, right? You guys have such a strong military that can stop Russia. Why don't you do it?
Okay, New Zealand doesn't have that strong of a military. Okay,
I'm not saying New Zealand. I just mean not America. I get it. You're in New Zealand, dude. You made it very, very clear. I've been there. Yeah, it's great. Great country. Can you just... I'm talking about not America, not specifically New Zealand.
All right. I think, okay, the countries that backed intervention in Syria, yes, they should have kept sanctions on rather than shaking hands with Jelani. I 100% agree with that. But... okay, you asked me.
Wow, that was the... Are you a politician?
Like,
it's crazy how you avoid questions that are asked. It's almost like an art how you do it, actually.
I didn't avoid your question. I said...
what was my question?
They should have... Your question was, why doesn't another country do it instead of America? Okay,
right,
the
what's it?
Okay, the countries that supported intervention in...
What's it?
Whoever else backed the intervention in Syria...
No, what's it?
So long ago,
why doesn't another country do it? What's it?
Because they're idiots.
No, what's it? What is it? When you say they should have done it, what is it?
Sanction Jelani instead of...
No. Okay, got it. So you're just not listening. No, assassinate. You said they should have assassinated him, whether it be through troops, targeted, whatever. That's what you said. I'm saying, why don't you guys do it?
Yes, the same ones who supported taking Assad out should kill Jelani, in my opinion. Or at least sanction him. But anyway,
all right, can you hurry up, dude? You're a dreamer, and it's hard to get you to come back to reality, and you're taking a lot of time.
Okay, fine. Well, all right. I guess that's it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Oh my god, these fucking Europeans, dude. Or sorry, Europeans that are now in New Zealand. The real sorry for the delay, guys. I'll catch up with the super chats, and I'll let the rest of the waiting list up. Just give me a second, you guys. The real Sal, thanks to NATO is useless, and the fact that the UK is the second strongest and can't put a ship out says a lot. Exactly. America needs to dip out and focus on Asia and Middle East, build defense alliance with Israel, Gulf states, Japan, and 100% South Korea. Yeah, dude. It's insane. These fucking the glibness of the fucking Europeans, dude. Again, I would love to have such a strong alliance with Europe because we have a history together, but how long do we have to fucking wait? How long? As the real Sal said in his next super chat, Europe is old news and doesn't matter. Fucking facts. Old news. You destroyed your own countries by yourselves. There's no one that did it other than you, and you can't even argue that. Russia is weak and the US just wasted money defending a place that brings nothing to the States. Asia and the Middle East is the future. Facts. 100%. 100%. In fact, I think it would do Europe good if we left NATO because maybe it'll give them a wake-up call. Or maybe it won't. Maybe they'll just continue to be the fucking bitter Europeans that think they're owed something because, well, we used to be the world's strongest empire and we are so great. And this fucking glib-ass attitudes, dude. I can't stand it. Like, they think they're owed something. Well, Americans, you guys came from us. Okay, great. And we surpassed you. What? How long? I just want one European. By the way, I love my European followers. I know a lot of you guys actually agree with what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about your governments. But I want one European who is speaking like that last fucktard that was just up here. I want one person to convince me. Tell me, how long do we have to wait for Europe to fix itself? If you can give me a number, then we can argue back and forth whether that number is acceptable. But if you say I don't know, I don't care. If the U.S. leaves NATO, that would be good for Europe because they will have to rebuild their... Exactly. Okay, you're taking the words out of my mouth, real, so I should just read your super chats. To rebuild their militaries, the U.S. can build a partnership with them. 100%. If we pull out, then they will rebuild it. Because guess what? They don't have America being daddy, giving them money that they just put into their welfare systems. They'll be like, oh shit, we need to rebuild. It would be the greatest thing for Europe. What's the point of allies that want you to do all the work and bitch at you for speaking up and pointing out the bullshit? Facts. Shocked. The imminent attack was not a surprise to Iran. Only the time and date was. Yeah, okay, that's fair. The time and date. I think it's a little bit of both, but yeah, they did actually, believe it or not, they did move up the attack because, you know, they found out they were doing meetings and stuff, and that's what actually allowed them to get the Ayatollah. Even their Ayatollah now, he won't show his face. You know why? Because he's, if not dead, he's a fucking like cripple. Yeah, I'll take that over Italy and Poland any day. Tim, my guess, Trump wanted Greenland as a payment for the $350 billion the EU scammed the USA off for Ukraine, who is their ally, not ours. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think it's a little bit more than that as well. But I think Trump actually kind of hinted at that. The real style, NATO is your drunk, unemployed cousin that calls you each week for a loan and talks shit behind your back expecting you to pay their bills. Yeah. The real Sal, Europe, time to cut spending on your healthcare and free this and free that and start putting that money in your military. It's time to pay the rent. Facts. The Steven, he put it upside down super chat. What drugs are they feeding him in Australia? Oh, he's from New Zealand, but yeah, I got you. Shocked, the U.S. pays roughly 14.9 to 16% of this, same as Germany, or about 750 to 800 million annually, less than 0.1% of total U.S. defense spending, not billions. Well, of course, obviously, I didn't mean billions per year. I'm saying billions over the years that they have been taking money out. And also, we only recently cut down to 800 million. We were spending much more than that. Do you think I'm just talking about like this year alone or last year even? No, I'm saying over the years. It's insane. So of course, it's been billions. What do you mean? Elia, NATO needs a wake-up call, especially for members not meeting spending goals, but abandoning it risks losing U.S. bases in Europe, which one can argue weakens America's security against adversaries. Shocked, if you think Syria being fractured would be bad, then why not bad in Iran? Because I don't think it would be fractured the same way Syria would be. I don't mind things for a longer-term goal being destabilized or fractured. That's not at all what I'm saying. In fact, I'm pretty sure I made that clear when I spoke. Anyways, Is that really your name? Okay, are you there? Hello? I
Hello?
don't really know what your name is.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. I don't know what your name is. It just says ...
Oh, yeah, sorry. My name is Carlos.
Okay, Carlos, what's up?
Well, I don't have any questions or anything. Nick, I just want to be honest. Like, I was kind of a little bit of a groiper, and I started watching your videos, and I just want to pop in here to say really thank you for all the things that you have done, because I have been able to be radicalized by watching your videos, especially your debate with Nico, your debate with other groypers. I just wanted to say really, like, from the bottom of my heart, really thank you for it, because it's it's been a wild ride, but I just want to say that, and a lot of us have been radicalized by a lot of things that have happened, but people like you seem to like pull people back to like a healthier way, I will say. So there's that. And the previous guy was, it was really funny, that conversation that you guys had. And
well,
I don't know.
Thank you, and WU for waking up. But I gotta say, as someone who's Mexican, the fuck is up with all these Mexican groypers, dude? Like, I feel like 90% of groypers are Mexicans. Maybe not literally.
Well, I'm not Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. But
okay, fine, fair enough. Latinos, Hispanics.
Yeah, Hispanics, all
okay.
that.
I'm from California, so a lot of them are Mexican out here. But maybe I'm assuming you're from New York or something.
I'm from Puerto Rico. I still live here. I
used
to live in Texas. Yeah, I used to live in Texas one time. Then I moved to Florida, and now I'm back.
Nick Fuentes has reached Puerto Rico. Fuck.
Oh yeah, dude. A lot of people know him here. You don't. I was working as a manager at a store,
sure.
And kid you not, a lot of the kids. Sadly, when Charlie Kirk was murdered, a lot of the kids, he gained a lot of popularity afterwards.
He did. That's
and
true.
I was like, I was like, I can't. Must be some kind of this must be some kind of dream. Like they all were, saying anti-Semitic things, and you know, like, oh, you remember when Trump attacked Iran for the first time, like maybe 8 months ago?
Yeah, the 12-day war.
Yeah, when the nuclear sites were destroyed, they were all losing their fucking minds. They were all like, oh, this is World War III, or Nick was right, or things like that, and whatever. And then Charlie Kirk was murdered, and it just went too much. Like I couldn't take it, and I started watching him, and I believe a lot of the bullshit that he says. And then I don't know what happened. I think it was your debate with Nico. Um, you obviously you completely destroy him, and and it's been a wake-up call. It's been rough, but it's been a wake-up call. And to answer your question, I really don't know why there's so many Mexicans who are groypers.
All right, bro. Well, I appreciate the honesty, and thanks for the story.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All
I'll
right,
see you
peace out.
later.
Yeah, bye. Monkey.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. What? Are you doing good?
Yeah, I'm good. You Israeli?
No, I'm from Canada, Quebec.
Oh, I don't know. You sounded Israeli for like half a second. Maybe I need to
Yeah.
turn this up a little bit, the volume.
Perhaps I'm quiet too. Hold up. All right.
You speak French though, huh?
Yeah.
Similar accent. It's not the same, but it's a little closer.
Yeah, I mean, well, both accent when we speak English, the accent is pretty heavy. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what I meant when you speak English. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm from Canada, and I want to talk about our relationship with the U.S. and NATO in general.
Yeah.
So I've heard Mark Carney. I need to pull up the source, but why? Like the reason why I voted for him. Well, I mean, Pierre Poilievre also made the same promise about refunding the military, because of course for the last few decades we did not prioritize the military, and Trump is right. He was right. But yeah, I guess we finally woke up to the reality. But yeah, from what I understand, did the U.S. warn its allies about its imminent invasion in Iran? I guess there was the nuclear threat, and I guess we needed to respond quickly. So that's why the U.S. didn't warn its allies. Perhaps I'm mistaken. What do you think?
Sorry, I was reading something. You're saying like I heard most of it. You're saying like why the U.S. didn't warn its allies because what?
Because the threat was imminent, and they didn't have much time to prepare and to respond.
No.
Is that right?
I don't think it's imminent, at least in that specific sense. I'm not saying that there wasn't things that obviously time was of the essence, but I wouldn't have called it imminent.
Okay.
It's because NATO has nothing to provide except being snitches, which is to put it lightly, which is not honestly it's not the first time. And even if let's say somehow they would have kept tight lips, just the movement of delegates to different NATO allies would have made its way back to Iran. That's it. It's just nothing more than that. Trump already spoke about this.
Yeah. I disagree with the other countries. I don't know. Yeah, I think Mark Carney's position is that he also didn't want Canada to get involved in the conflict, and I disagree. But I think the reason why the U.S. allies didn't want to get involved is that we also think about our own survival. And since I'm talking about Canada for this example, if our military is not strong enough, and we know it's not strong enough, and we don't have as much resources as the US, it's a much bigger risk for us to get involved. Well, maybe not, because the US, with the NATO alliance, we will have gotten support if we were to get attacked. And I don't know about. I'm also thinking about the tariffs. We want to rebuild our military, but if our economic relationship with the US is fractured, we will not be able to, I guess, make more profit to then invest it into the military. So I guess that's where I get confused by Trump.
There was a
He wants
2024
our out. Yeah.
There was a 2024 analysis. Actually, the U.S. contributed over, like, it was about 16% of NATO's annual budget directly, right? 16% by itself. Germany was the second biggest. But, however, and this analysis was talks about this, the U.S. contributes a far larger amount to NATO's overall mission through its national defense budget, because that's something that some people who are pro NATO fail to mention, that your overall total national defense budget still goes into NATO. There's the direct funding literally going into NATO, which, again, our country alone provides a certain amount, 16%. But on top of that, when you look at the national defense budget, which is intended for collective defense, which is important to NATO's overall mission as well, in 2025, the U.S. defense spending was estimated around, it was just under $1 trillion, like 950, 980 billion, something like that, right? Which represented about 60% of all NATO members' total defense spending. And that's something that a lot of people that try to defend NATO, they try to ignore that fact by going like, well, US, in the 2024 analysis, it's only, 3.3 billion euros, which again is about 16% of NATO's annual budget. Again, that's already insane. One country by itself, but they forget they forget the overall mission, which is also total national defense budget, which America, if you add it all up, America is 60% of that, of all of NATO.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for a long time since World War II, we, I guess we gave the U.S. the role of policing the world, right? And
yeah, and that's fine. It's totally okay. I'm okay with the U.S. being the world police. In fact, I prefer it. And I'm okay with even spending more doing that than our European allies. But at the same time, we should be given a little bit more grace then in what it is that we see as the future. And Europe should effectively back us in that, right? They shouldn't have this say as if they're equals, because they're not. Sorry, I get, oh, Nick, that's not a nice thing to say. Sorry, it's true. You're not equals. If you want America to fund 60% of EU's defenses and 60% of NATO's overall total budget spending, right? Because building up your military is part of NATO's overall mission, not just direct funding. If you are saying, America, you have that position, you spend more of your money, well, then we also get more grace when we say we're doing this and you're going to back us in it. That's it. Well, if you're able to back us, since your fucking military's been weakened.
Of course, we should give more grace to the U.S. for sure. It's just I don't know if it was possible for the U.S. to let its allies let them in on it in advance. Instead of doing it as a surprise attack. I understand the art of war. Sometimes you have to take your enemies by surprise. That I get, and we should have been more prepared for those types of scenario. It's just, I guess we didn't see it coming that fast, this fracture in the global world order. I guess that's my primary criticism. Sorry, that's my primary critique of what the U.S. has done in the past few months. Is just, it seems on the surface that everything is by surprise, and maybe if we had more time to prepare, we would have been more open to help the U.S. more in its mission. And that's also the problem. Is it the U.S.'s mission or if it's our collective decision?
I think it's primarily the U.S.'s, but I think it's collective because they're going to be more of a threat to Europe than us. More recently, quicker, they will be an effect to them more than us. Hold on, let me catch up with these super chats. Shock says NATO had no problem provoking Russia to an extreme, so why such cowardice with Iran? I want to say I agree with you, especially with the cowardice with Iran, but can you be more specific on NATO provoking Russia to an extreme? Are you talking about like the talks about making Ukraine join? Like if that's all it takes to provoke Russia, then that's more Russia's fault, not NATO's. Trust me, as you can see, I'm not a fan of NATO, but I have to push back a little bit on that. Also, I looked up your statistics about Germany's spending. It wasn't correct. It's nowhere near correct. They spent like 10% of what you said into NATO. And to be fair, it's still over 2% of their GDP, which is the bare minimum that is required for NATO. So Germany's still at least meeting the bare minimum by 0.4% on top, but it wasn't as much as you said. Well, sorry, it was as much, but not for the overall mission. Sorry, I should have said that. They do spend as much in direct funding as America, which I guess maybe was your point. But again, in terms of the overall mission, they are second, though. I'll give you that. Germany is second place for all of the European countries. So if there's anyone we should be mad at, I guess Germany gets the least amount of it. But yeah, can you just expand on what you meant by like NATO provoking Russia to an extreme? I get there was a little bit of provoking, but I don't know. I just wouldn't argue to an extreme. Gold Peak, Islam sucks. Thanks for the super chat. And then he did another one. Islam sucks. God bless America, Israel, and Iran. Sorry, did you have a question, Monkey? What was it?
Oh yeah, well, we're talking about, I guess, NATO and Canada's role with helping the U.S. in the Iran war. I guess I'm just exploring. My question was, I guess you already answered, which is Canada doing enough for the U.S. and for the world?
You know, I talk a lot of shit to Canada, but like in reality, I actually do like Canada. I think, don't get me wrong, I think they're fucking their country up and they're soon going to be just as bad as Europe, and I hope they fix themselves before they get that far. And I can't stand their like extreme amount of socialism, but I'm not talking about internal politics. I'm talking about like we do have strong trade deals with Canada. Now, to be fair, we share a land border with them, but you know,
Yeah.
we get most of our foreign imported oil from Canada. We have strong alliance. I think Canada's military is actually pretty decent. At least when I was in the military, I've trained with some Canadian. I mean, I think it's pretty decent. I hope I'm right about that still. Again, that was a few years ago. So, you know, I think Canada is something worth saving, but I just don't know if it's going to happen because you guys keep voting in more and more left-wing people.
Yeah, that perhaps it's weird from me, but the immigration issue is complicated, especially in Quebec, because a lot of our immigration is decided by the federal government and not the provincial. Or to the US viewers, we have provinces and not states. But yeah, a lot of immigrants are not decided by Quebec, and they don't factor in. It's hard. Like, I don't know why they do it, but they don't factor in the language. So a lot of immigrants have problems speaking French. And it's weird because a lot of people see Canada as like being the 51st state, and it primarily being like just very similar to the US. But
yeah, you know, it's
there's
insane.
big
I was just
province.
seeing,
Yeah.
I was just reading in the UK that you can take an immigration test to get citizenship in the UK or a visa or whatever. Sorry, I meant residency. And you can take it in a language other than English, which I thought was insane. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing in the UK? Like,
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing in Canada, but they can do it. I don't know if they have to do it in French. They can do it either in English or in French.
Well, okay, but at
But
least
yeah.
for, France, English is I don't know if that's, I assume it's an official language in Canada along with French, or is it like America where there's not really an official language technically?
I think technically in Canada there are 2 official languages. So if you want to immigrate to Canada, you can do it. You can do the test either in English
Okay,
or in
but
French.
but that's fair, right? Because you're doing one of the 2 at least major languages, if not official languages. But in England, you can do it in languages that are not a major language in or the UK or official. And on top of that, one of the questions, this just got released. One of the questions they asked was about Ramadan. It was what day ends Ramadan or something like that. I don't remember the exact question. It's insane. Anyways.
No shit. Okay. I don't know anything about that in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's pretty insane. All right. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Have a nice night.
You too. Bye. Thanks for the super chat, Alia. Wouldn't it be better to make the condition that if a NATO member does not meet the NATO military spending requirement or does not offer the U.S. more financial incentives, they'd be kicked out of NATO? That would fracture NATO, but I hear where you're coming from. Swanson, do the support of Israel poll concern you? That always concerns me. But I also have a motto: if you can't really fix something, don't spend too much time worrying about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Haj. Thanks for the super chat. I don't understand. Isn't France stepping out a... Wait, hold on. Isn't France stepping out... Oh, stepping out a good example of why the NATO would not have been useful. Love your work, by the way. Good point. Okay. All right, we got to go a little... Sorry. Thanks, Jim Lopez, for super chat. Europe and other Western countries, media are run by leftist global elites who constantly feed people anti-Trump and anti-US BS. So TDS is running rampant with all the twisted narratives. Beginning to think you're right, honestly, bro. All right. Bottles, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, Nick? Thanks for having me on. Shavua Tov, happy Baruch Hashem.
Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, my man?
Yeah, good.
Wanted to thank you for everything you're doing right now. It's really been amazing, inspiring to watch you debate to push forward against some of the more toxic ideals, especially on the pro-Pally side. But I want to first of all say how inspiring it has been to watch you over these past few years, especially with the Sneeko debates, kind of rocking you to a little bit more attention. I want to talk a little bit more about that in the sense that I've seen that you've been trying to take on more debates, and wanted to ask where you hope your career you wanted to go. Are you hoping to be going more onto like pundits, taking on people like Mehdi Hasan and others, or are you happy where you are here on YouTube, TikTok, yada yada?
I don't know. I mean, no, I mean, to answer your question, I'd be happy to debate anyone. I don't really care who it is. Obviously, I try to put a priority on people that are, more known, have a platform. But yes, of course, yeah, if I could debate Betty, that'd be great. If I could debate other people on some bigger platforms, that'd be great. To answer your question about like my career, thanks, Elia, for the super chat. Wouldn't NATO fracture if the U.S. left anyways? Probably. Listen, I don't really consider this so much about a career. You know what I mean? Like, this is just something I'm passionate about. I just started yapping about it like 5 years ago, and it just kind of kept going in the direction. I started off as just a guy making just videos only on TikTok. And then after October 7th, I went into what happened was by October 7th, I was already talking about Israel for about 3 years. I was already doing a lot of research and understanding about Israel. So by the time October 7th happened, while a lot of people started shifting to talking about Israel or Palestine, I was already doing it. In fact, I've done it longer outside of October 7th than since October 7th, really. And what happened was I went to Israel for my first time ever because I tried to go back in like 2021, 2022, early 2023, and I couldn't because I was in the military. And between the conflict and the military not allowing us to go to Israel, CENTCOM specifically, then when they kind of opened up and I could get permission, COVID happened, and it was just really tough. So the second I got out of the military, I made plans to go to Israel. I got out of the military May 2023. I made plans, and I went for Yom Kippur 2023. I left days before October 7th. It was my first trip ever to Israel, and I told everyone that followed me at the time, like, you guys, I'm not going to be posting a lot, but I will be filming a lot just because I want to like live in the moment. I don't want to like be on TikTok too much. And so I had a lot of videos, and I was editing them, getting them ready. I posted like maybe a couple, right? A few. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from Hebrew Hammer. If you guys know who that is, more people on TikTok know who he is, but it's that guy actually right there. He's my best friend. And he called me and he said, hey, Israel's being attacked right now. And I remember being like, yeah, what else is new? And he's like, yeah, this one feels a little different though. It's something weird. And by the way, this was before we saw any of the videos of like the white pickup trucks and stuff getting into Israel. But it did. It felt different. And then we saw those videos and we're like, we keep calling each other back and forth a little bit. Like, did you see this? Did you see this? We're sending each other stuff. And I never ended up posting pretty much any of those videos to this day because I immediately went into like, this is kind of a hobby. This is important to me, but it's like, it's still more of a hobby than anything to this is a hobby. Obviously it's important to me. And now it's kind of like crisis mode. Like I need to start fighting back. I was no longer in the military, right? I felt more, more when I was in the military, I'd go on a deployment and people on TikTok didn't see me for like 6 months straight or months at a time, at least. And, I obviously didn't have that anymore. And so I was like, I really need to start buckling down and really doing research, studying. I need to start doing lives more. I was doing lives, but not like almost on a nightly basis. And I really, I opened up my Instagram. My Instagram technically was already open, but I wasn't really posting a lot on it. But I was like, I need to start posting on that more. I need to, start building. And so to answer your question after that, yeah, but it just kind of, circumstances just kind of propelled me to where I'm at today. So, would I love to look my actual job, I'm an engineer, but if this were to turn into something that surpassed my engineering, right? I grew up poor, right? I seriously, like I not when I say poor, I don't mean like, oh, I was middle class, but I call myself poor. No. We were like at very best of my childhood, lower middle class. And so money's not like something that's important to me. I live pretty frugal. I'm not, I'm just, I do very well for myself, especially the way I was raised. But it's just not that important to me. So when I make money doing this stuff, I put it back into this, right? I, buy, more expensive cameras, lighting. I bought another computer and, you know what I mean? Like I put it back into this because it's really legitimately important to me. And so if this were to surpass and be able to sustain me, the only reason that would be important isn't just because I like my job as an engineer. I do. It's just because that means I can do this more. And I know I do it very well, better than a lot of people. And so I want to put my voice out there, not so much because it's fun to do this. It's not fun to do this. It's actually, sometimes I need to take breaks. Sometimes I need to watch for my mental health sometimes. And that's why I go on the Discord. I'm like, you guys, I'm taking a break today. Right. Trust me, talking to these people every day, it gets repetitive and it's not fun. But I also understand that there's not a lot of people that do it like I do. Not necessarily saying there's not people that are better than me. I think it just depends on what the conversation is and the tactic that's needed. Some people do things better than I do, and they have a different type of tactic. And I think it's important for all of us to exist. That tactic, this tactic, my tactic, and everything in between. And I want more people, and also inspiring more people to be able. I've had many people over the years saying, I make content now because you inspired me. And I think that's awesome because that's how it works. And so if I were to ever get to a point where this became like a career, it's solely because that means I'm allowed to do what I find to be important, talking about this even more.
I love it. That's excellent, man. And I admire how much you do, especially with the fact that I'm sure it definitely takes a toll on you in terms of your mental health, which the fact that you have Danielle around you and Huber Hammer and hopefully a lot of positive people to keep you positive, to really bring back that joy into your life. I really hope that you get that. It's actually on that note that I kind of want to talk about. I work as a project manager for a synagogue, and we had one of the Bondi Beach survivors come over. 20-year-old kid got shot. He's not carrying more than 10 pounds, but he was so impressively positive about his outlook, not only for Jewish people, but for Zionism as well. And I do want to ask, given the fact that you kind of are in the muck, in the trenches of this kind of debate, do you see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, or is this something that we're always going to deal with as Zionist and or pro-Israeli people?
I think Jews, unfortunately, are doomed to always have to kind of live through these kind of things. I think it's I mean, me personally, I think it's biblical, but even if you want to put religion aside, I just think it's something the Jews are, and naturally this is of course going to extend to Israel and Zionism, but the Jews overall, even if you want to put the biblical things aside, the Jews can be one of two things. They can be people who are in the spotlight, who are light amongst the nations, who are very, very intelligent people. They make a lot of stuff. They're always going to be a minority. Just true. And when you're a minority that puts itself so out there, you're going to get hate. And who puts themselves out there more than the Jews, really? And that's a good thing. But it also means it's going to come with a lot more hate and a lot more, it's kind of like the nail that sticks out gets hammered kind of thing. Or the Jews can become people that are not like that, and they can just kind of be like maybe another minority group. It's just to themselves. People don't really talk about them at all, and they're not really seen. I'm not advocating for Jews to do that, because then they wouldn't be Jews. The thing that makes Jews Jews in my eyes, as someone looking from the outside, again, if we're putting the Bible aside, to me, the Torah is absolutely the most amazing thing. I think it lives in every Jew, even if they're an atheist. And I think the Torah is absolutely incredible. But let's put that aside for a second. The Jews are incredible because of who they are, their accomplishments, how they uplift each other, how they act within their own community, the arguments that they have within their own community. And I think that is what makes Jews Jews. And if that comes with a certain set of, let's be honest, hate and scapegoating, I say, again, I don't know how much skin in the game I have, but if you ask, I'd say that's worth it. I'd say that's worth it for being who the Jewish people are, because there's two ways to kill a Jew. There's literal, and then there's stopping them from being who they are, the tribe that they are. And you can kill Jews that way as well. Not physically, but making them so scared that they just assimilate to just being anyone else.
I really like that, and thank you very much. I appreciate that sentiment. And the reality is that it's true. We if we stop being Jewish, then it would end up. It would end up. Sorry, let me try that again. Stop. And the fact that we're Jewish is the fact that is what will draw people or draw the hate to us. Now, I will say, I admire. I'm going to step aside from that. I want to say I admire how effective you are at your debate techniques, how effective you are at drawing on your knowledge to integrate it in a way that not only takes on even the most complex gotchas, but reorienting them to a debate that is actually more fixed in fact. And I want to ask, what are the more complex gotchas or debate topics that are brought up to you that you find you have to do either a lot of prep or a lot of offering a lot of information before you can move away from those gotcha, those points, those talking points? What are the most complex or difficult ones
Within
that you
Israel,
find you do?
Palestine specifically?
Yes, sir.
Not much, honestly, because my debate tactics and style comes more from the Socratic method personally, and that even if there's a topic or an angle that a pro-Palestinian uses I've never heard of, I always fall back to that, because in the end, not to minimize what I do, but in the end, they're just on the wrong side. Now, on an individual level, of course, Israel's done some wrong things, but the argument's never about individual levels, even if they try to make it that. It's always about the systematic or overall talking points. And so even if they come at a different angle, like I just debated that French-Canadian guy, JP,
Yeah, he was
right? He had a
Oh my God.
totally different angle I've never even heard of, but in the end, I still was able to wrap it around to the overall argument, because it's just they're on the wrong side, so they're gonna have a hard time arguing no matter what angle. I know that's not a fun answer, but honestly, I've never had somebody ever once say something that I'm like, like is like existential for me. Like, oh my gosh, I never really thought about that. It's just if it's new, it's something that I might need to talk with them a little bit longer, but sooner or later we kind of get there. And by there, I mean crushing down their argument and breaking it down and flipping it back onto them. That's generally what I do for just about any debate, is taking their argument, absorbing it, what they're saying, and turning it back on them.
Excellent. Well, Nick, I really appreciate you taking time to talk with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and wish you the best of luck moving forward. Good luck with you, Mingle, and the Caribs, and see you on YouTube.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Sure, maybe one day. To those asking in the chat, yeah, we'll go into Omegle here soon. There's 2 more in the waiting list. Nobody joined the waiting list after that. I'm just gonna get through these 2 because they've been waiting, and then we will go to Omegle. Joe, thanks for the super chat. What's your thoughts on the 10 missing scientists? Huh. Obviously, I took a very, very nice break these past 2 days. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna be real. Sal, what's up?
Yo, what's up, buddy? I'm not going to keep you long. So, two ideas about NATO that might work for America. A, they withdraw completely and make like a defense alliance based on trade. Or B, whatever American troops inside NATO get paid from the European countries. So, like, European countries help fund American bases, not just what they do now, but pay for their pay for supplies, pay for whatever American troops they want inside Europe. They're paying for it.
Yeah,
And
that's what, Japan does kind of that, or is it South Korea? No, I think it's Japan. I mean, probably both, but Japan, they pay for like 50% of the base that we have there. Probably more than what Europe does. No, I think that's I think
me
that's a good
personally, I
point.
say withdraw from NATO because at the end of the day, if you still stay in NATO, you may get that in 4 years, but 4 years later, if a Democrat comes or pro NATO guy comes in, they're just going to go back to the way they think. That's just how I see it. But the other solution, them paying might work.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. If it's providing them with a service, why shouldn't they pay? I think that's a good point.
And one last thing, Germany, you say it's number 2 in military spending, right?
Sorry, say that one more time.
You say that Germany's number 2 in spending.
That's what it looked like when I looked. Yeah, they spend about as much in direct funding. Again, not the overall mission, but direct funding. It seemed like they were number 2 after America.
But if you look at many years before that, they were only spending 1%. And
no, true.
From
Yeah,
what
that's true.
What I read up, their military was in such shambles that whatever they're spending now doesn't really matter for at least a while.
That's a good point. No, you're right. You're right about that. And yep. Okay.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. I'm looking at these 10 scientists. As 10 scientists have died or disappeared, all with links to the nation's nuclear programs, raising questions about possible connections. Okay. Stephen Garcia, government contractor with alleged top-level clearance at a key nuclear facility, is the latest to be connected to the growing list. How long has this list gone on? Does anyone know? Like, is it 10 dead in like a week, or is it 10 dead in like years? Or let's see. His case is similar to that of retired Air Force Major General William McCaslin, who went missing February 27th after leaving his Albuquerque home on foot. As for the other 8 cases, 2 scientists were shot and killed at their homes. Another's body was believed to be found at the bottom of a lake. Others vanished from their homes. It's a headline for now. Someone said 13 scientists, actually? Oh, I don't know. This one says 10, but okay. 2 years around, I think. Oh, okay. All within 3 years? Okay. No, don't get me wrong. That's still weird for sure. I'm not saying that makes it less weird. It's just, I was just curious. As for the other, oh, wait, I already read that. Others vanished from their homes, a highway, and a hiking trail. Is it all the same nuclear facility, or is it just... It's just people... It's just scientists at nuclear facilities, like, all across the country? Because that's less weird. Because I assume that's out of hundreds and hundreds of people. So it's like... One guy disappeared and left his stuff, but his gun was missing. No signs of a struggle. Huh. Not just nukes, lasers, high energy. This is starting to get a little less weird. Still a little weird. Still a little weird, but it's starting to get a little less weird the more I'm looking into it. I would say... I would say it's just a headline for now, like that person in the comment section said. Like let's keep an eye on it, see what it means, but it could be a coincidence. Every single one is connected to an American and the presidential seal, supposedly. All right. right, let's get this last guess in, and we'll go over to Caribs. T, what's up, man?
Oh, what's going on, man?
Can't complain. I heard that. Having a fun night.
Sorry, yeah. I just found you tonight, Nick. You're a fucking smart guy, man. Sorry for the swearing. My bad.
I'm a sailor,
I just came
bro.
here
You're
for.
good.
Okay, sorry. I just didn't know if I could curse or something on your channel. Anyways, I was just coming for a little bit of a history lesson, especially with Israel itself. I just
Keep
wanted
going.
to ask you.
I'm
'cause
listening. I'm listening. Keep going.
Okay, I know that you're a smart guy. I just want to know, where did the name Palestine originate from? Was it from the Romans, or was it from somewhere else, like the Arabs?
Yeah, that's hold on, I'm coming. That's a good question, actually, and it's a common one. A lot of people say it was from the Romans. That's actually not particularly true. It just depends on what you mean by that. So, so Palestine, right? Well, that's the English transliteration, if you will, but going back before, it actually comes from the word that means invaders. It means Plishtim or Pelset for the ancient Egyptian or ancient Hebrew, both. And what it referred to was the people that comes from most likely the island of Crete, known as the Philistines. Okay, we don't actually know what the Philistines call themselves. They probably most certainly did not call themselves invaders, obviously. But that's what the ancient Egyptians called them, because they tried to invade Egypt, they fail, and then they end up invading and setting up shop, if you will, in what is now what is now Gaza, Ashkelon, Ashdod area. They kind of had a sort of tri-kingdom, if you will, or kingship, actually is a better way to put it. And of course, there's a lot of knowledge about them in the Bible, but even putting the Bible aside, historically, they're accepted as that. And so they were really, I call them like pirates, really, but sea raiders, if you will, merchants in some aspects. And so if you go prior to Roman Emperor Hadrian, right, people used it before him. Persians, Herodotus even talked about them, but when they referred to it, they did not refer the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea from what is today Syria, Lebanon border down to, Egypt and the Sea of Reeds and Red Sea and all that. What it referred to was that area I talked about where the Philistines were. And then, Herodotus obviously wrote in Greek, but transliteration to English, Palestine, if you will. In Greek, I think it's pronounced Palestinoi, or something like that. So where Romans come from, now that I've given you that history, where the Romans come from is because there was the province in the Roman Empire, Judea, which matches up more or less with ancient Judea, the kingdom of Judah, right? Which essentially incorporated with the 12 tribes of Israel, you have Judah and Benjamin, right? Benjamin was smaller, so people just kind of say Judah. And then during the Assyrian raid, where they essentially attacked and for more or less destroyed the 10 tribes of Israel to the north, a lot of them fled into Judah, Benjamin. And so the whole lost tribes of Israel, some can still stem from those tribes because of those that fled into Judea. Anyways, fast forward to the Roman Empire, you have the Roman province known as Judea, okay? Which is, Bethlehem, Jerusalem, and the surrounding areas. When you had the first and second Jewish Roman revolts, right, where the Jews fought against the Romans, and then you have the Bar Kokhba revolt, right? This is, around 70 CE. They destroyed the temple. Around 134 CE, maybe I've seen some say 135, but I think it's 134 CE. They have the Roman exile after the Bar Kokhba revolt, and that's when Roman Emperor Hadrian renamed that province Syria Palestina, which is where Syria gets its name as well, because it was the two enemies of the Jews. Syria comes from the Assyrians, and Palestina comes from the Philistines. And so, to answer your question, overall, it's kind of both. Did people use it before the Romans? Yes, that was more regional. But who officially established it into the land was Roman Emperor Hadrian. And then it was a European word. It's always been a European word. In fact, only the Europeans really used it. Once the Romans, Eastern Romans, Byzantines, were kicked out by the invading Arab forces, right? And then, you go from the Arabs into the Crusaders, and it kind of went back and forth a little bit. And then you go into the Mamluk Empire, and then who are Muslims. And then you have the Ottoman Empire, who are Muslims. None of them really called it colloquially or officially Palestine. There were some things during the Ottoman Empire where it was kind of used in books, but again, it wasn't very common, right? They actually referred to it as Shem, Balad al-Shem, Greater Syria, etc. Even during 1919, there was something called the King Crane Commission. It was the polling apparatus that was taken at the fall of the Ottoman Empire prior to the British Mandate taking over. And they actually asked the Syrians, what would you like to see of this land? 80.4% said that they wanted to see a unified Syria, right? They called it Syria, which would have incorporated all of Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, what they called colloquially Palestine, what is today Lebanon, and Syria. They wanted to see all of that as Syria, effectively. 80.4%. When asked how many of them wanted just Palestine as an independent entity, only 6. Not 6%, 6 people, right? It was less than 1%. I think it was like 0.3% or something like that. 0.34%, I believe. That's the only ones that actually answered in favor of that. So the vast majority wanted to see it as part of Syria. Where am I going with this? Anyways, the British, obviously, comes about. You have administratively, officially in 1922, you have the British Mandate for Palestine. Not of Palestine. A lot of people say that. British Mandate for Palestine. And they're the first ones to officially use the name Palestine. It was over like 800 years it wasn't used because, again, it's a European word, which is why it's so funny when Palestinians say that Israelis are European invaders. Their name comes from Europeans. Their borders come from Europeans. The British and the French set up the northern and eastern borders. And then with the south, it was the British mostly with an agreement with Egypt. So their borders come from Europe. Their name comes from Europe. Their flag comes from Europe. It was created by a guy named Mark Sykes. He was an Englishman. Same Mark Sykes from the Sykes-Picot Agreement, right? Their flag, their name, their borders all come from Europe. And their identity, which comes from Operation SIG, really, with the Soviet Union. So Europe/Russia, I guess. Or sorry, Europe/Asia, if you will. But still, they're the ones that actually pushed to nationalizing this idea of Palestinians in 1964. The Palestinian Liberation Organization really took off in 1967, which is when Operation SIG really, really took off. And it didn't even become popular until like 1969 at very best.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's a lot of history there, man. Holy shit.
lot.
Anyways, I was just so curious about that. I probably could have looked it up, but again, I don't even really trust everything that I look up on Google and stuff like that. I'd rather just get it from a peer source like someone like you,
No, I hope I was able to sort of, kind of wrap it up nicely. It's a lot, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I just want to say, I love my Jewish brothers and sisters. We love the Americans. I'm actually from Canada, too, right next to Quebec there, Ontario boy here. And just one last question that I wanted to ask you before I let you go here and,
Sure.
you get back to what you do best. Do you think there'll ever be a possibility that Canada could become America? We could maybe work out some sort of deals where we split up the provinces and make them into states and
I don't
maybe,
know.
maybe expand the American empire a little bit more.
Listen, I think
Because
it'd be really good for Canada, but I don't think that's going to happen. I want Canada to fix themselves. I don't really particularly want to take in a bunch of socialists and force them into a position that they may not like. I do. I talk a lot of shit about Canadians, but honestly, I do. I love Canada. I have a special place in my heart for them. I want them to fix themselves. I don't see it happening. I'm not holding my breath, but I hope they do.
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate the talk. You have a good night, okay?
You too. Have a good one. All right. I have to answer this chat. I appreciate the love, but Elite Gaming said you can't find Palestine anywhere before Rome. I love you, Nick, but you're wrong. Okay, I'm not wrong. Okay, it's in the histories, which I've read the entire thing, all All the 90 plus chapters, multiple books. You can find it there, which is definitely before the Romans. I promise you. Again, as I said, they weren't referring to the Mediterranean Sea to the Jordan River. They were referring to a very specific spot, but I promise you, you can find it there. That's hundreds of years before the Romans. So it's important for us to be, particularly correct, but it's also important for us to add in that context. It has nothing to do with what they refer to as Palestine. It's a completely different entity. It's European invaders from Greece, the island of Crete specifically. All right, guys, let's get over to Omegle. Thanks, Ali and Alex, for the super chat. Appreciate you.
It's Omegle time, everyone! You know what that means? Arabs hanging out in a car. Nothing but Arabs hanging out in a car. Screaming and yelling while hanging out in a car. Absolutely no women, just 3 bros hanging out in a car. 1, 2, 3 Arabs hanging out in a car. Come on, everyone, sing along. From the west to the east to the north to the south. From the river to the sea. All we see is Arabs hanging out in a car. Nothing but Arabs hanging out in a car. We click next.
And what do you see?
No women, absolutely no women, just bros in a car. Screaming and yelling while hanging out in a car. 1, 2, 3 Arabs hanging out in a car. Omegle time!
That's interesting. When I play it, I see you guys can hear it, but I can't hear it, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it really doesn't matter in the end, as long as you guys can hear it. Elite Gaming 5477, that's Jewish history. That's actually not. Herodotus is definitely not Jewish history. I think you're thinking of Josephus, which is Jewish history, which also, by the way, he wrote about Palestine as well, but again, referred to it as the same exact area. It's the official opening screen. I'm glad you all like the song. Yeah, W. Bob. Bob is the one that created that song. Why is it always 3? It is. It's always 3 or 4. Sometimes 2. The only time it's really 1 is, that's why you weren't dancing, Nick. I know, I couldn't hear it. It's kind of lame. I'm trying to figure out how is it that I am able to hear it, because I want to hear it with you guys. Let's see here. Let's try this out. Let's what is this? Generally enabling monitor sends audio. Actually, let's try this. Let's try this. Thanks, D, for the super chat. Born 6th century, sword, lie, manipulate, and die. 4th, 21st century weapon, internet. Rest in peace. Okay.
It's Omegle time,
There we go. Now
everyone.
I can hear it.
You know what that means? Arabs hanging out in a car. Nothing but Arabs hanging out in a car. Screaming and yelling while hanging out in a car. Absolutely.
Okay. Could you guys hear it double, or was it fine like that just once? Once. Okay. Fine. Heard it fine. Okay, cool. Now I have it set up to where I can hear it with you guys. Good, good, good. Okay. I already played it once, so I'm not gonna play it again. That way I can there we go. Boom. Alright. Let's do this.
Store.
Yellow.
Oh god, this is horrible.
Why is your internet so bad?
I don't know. I'm in a cave.
Okay. Why are you covering your face for?
With shits and giggles.
Alright. Are you like scared of showing your face or something?
I'm playing YouTube.
Bro, I can't hear you, dude. Your internet is fucking dog shit. You're like you're cutting out real bad. I can't understand you. Is this dude vaping through his mask? Are you there, dude? Alright, I'm just gonna skip. This guy's fucking weird.
On my soul.
Hello.
Hello?
How are you?
What are you doing?
Asking how are you? That's haram. Shouldn't be doing that.
I don't give a shit about
Question Mr. Fuck Israel, bro. Fuck you and fuck Israel.
Your mom is a whore.
And fuck Iran too.
Are you okay,
Your mom
bro?
is a whore.
Yeah.
Why the fuck you got the flag on?
Yeah.
Because his mom is a whore.
Why are you guys all so angry for?
Let me talk. Hold on. What?
Why are you guys all so angry for? So you guys get easily triggered by everything.
How the fuck are you wearing? How the fuck? I'm not. Listen. Let's start all over. First of all,
fuck you.
No, first of all,
fuck you.
First of all, fuck Israel.
Are you three dudes in a car?
Fuck you, bitch.
Are you three dudes in a car hanging out together?
No, we're 5 dudes in the car.
And we're about to gangbang your mom.
I bet that's true. I bet that's true. Is there any women in the car at all? Like no
Where
women?
you from? Where you from? Where you from?
Dude, I'm not gay. You don't have to stop.
Okay, where you from? Where you from?
No. Bro, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Fox to Palestine! Fox to Palestine!
Are you okay?
Fox for Israel!
Why are you shaking your ass for, dude?
Fox for fucking Israel, you fucking dirt!
I can't even understand what you're saying, dude. Are you humping a pillow right now?
You're fucking Israel. You're fucking Israeli.
Really.
Really
so angry, man. Like, I can't, man. My eyes twitching, all this shit, bro. And you got this nigga with the American flag and the Israel flag and the Iran. Nigga, fuck all these fucking flags except the United States, bro. Don't worry, man.
Are you okay, bro?
You're a fucking retard, bro. You're sitting here behind. This is your fucking information, too. You're not fucking slick, bitch ass nigga, because you can't come on here with a VPN. Go fuck yourself.
I'm
I
not
have
on
your
a
face on it.
VPN.
Listen, you're a fucking troll, bro.
That's also
You're a
not my
troll.
IP address. That's not even right. I'm looking at that's
But
not even
it
right.
doesn't matter. You can't hide your
you
IP
just
address.
typed in a random thing acting like you're
That's your
slick. That's not even
information, bitch ass
correct.
nigga, that's your information.
All
You're
right,
from
it's
Baker Street, you
not.
fucking fuck ass nigga. Shut the fuck
All right,
up.
I'm not, but okay, bro.
Yes, you are. I'm not. What is the point of these flags in the bag, bro? Why put Iran there? What the fuck is
Okay.
your problem?
So anyways,
Aren't you niggas being
I live in
aren't you
Los
being bugged right
Angeles,
now like a
bro.
little bitch? Because
So
your
just so you
people
know,
are fucking assholes.
okay,
Fuck
can you
your country.
relax?
I'm from Iraq. I would never like your Iranian motherfuckers.
Are you
bro.
guys also triggered so easily?
Yeah, because fuck Iran. I hope Trump
Okay.
fucks your fucking country because you don't deserve. You remember what you did to Iraq? You remember that shit? You think we're gonna let you fucking slide?
I
Fuck
hope they
you, nigga.
do it
Go be
again
scared of
after
Hermes
talking to
or be a
you.
little
It's just like an
bitch.
instant crash out. You guys
Fuck
are fucking
you,
weak
nigga. Yes,
people.
fuck you.
You're just
Take
weak.
the Iranian flag off. Don't associate with Israel and the United States. That flag shouldn't be there, bro. It's only Israel and United States. That's it.
All right, so can you stop being so
Because
emotional for?
8 years
All
of
right, I'm gonna
ground
mute
war
you.
with
I'm just gonna
Iraq.
mute you because you're too emotional, bro. You're too emotional. Anyways, I'm from Los Angeles, bro. I live in Los Angeles, so you suck at your job. You're really, really bad at what you do. You're muted, bro. You don't have to scream louder. It's not gonna like what are you so fucking retarded that you think if you scream louder it's gonna
Hey, dude.
This is a super chat. Nick, why do you attract stupid ass? Honestly, I think it's just you mingle, bro. But hey, what's up?
What's up, bitch?
Jeez, why are you guys all so sensitive for?
What do you mean?
You guys all crash out so easily.
I just like to refer to little gay boys like you as bitches. That's all it is.
Bro, you're in a car with another dude.
You blame me for that?
You're in a
Guess
car with
what?
another dude.
Guess what? A couple minutes ago, I was in the car with your mom.
Your
bitch.
mom, yeah, I know. You guys all say the same thing. Yeah.
Nothing more than just call her.
Hey,
Too loud. That's a child. That's a fucking whole ass child, dude. Hello.
Fuck you, you piece of shit. What is
Jesus
that flag
fucking
you got on the back?
Christ. I'll answer you, but why are you so angry for? Why are all Arabs angry?
Brother, you're doing this on purpose. That's
Okay,
what
but
you're-
it's a fucking piece of cloth. Why do you? Does that really trigger you
It's a
guys
piece
that
of
quickly?
cloth, brother, but that piece of cloth killed innocent people.
Well,
The people that
fuck, you guys are bringing down the whole fucking world with how easily emotional you guys get. So maybe it's bringing the world up. I don't know. We'll see.
Brother, listen.
Look, I have no problem talking to you, but it's hard to when you guys immediately just go to like attacking and emotions.
Well, let's talk then. What do you have to say about the people that died in Gaza, the innocent children that have nothing to do with this war?
Yeah, innocents die in war when you hide behind them, especially. But even when you don't, innocents die in war. That's
Innocents don't die in war. A war.
name one
actually, it's not even
war.
a
Name
it's a
one.
genocide. It's
Okay,
a genocide because
okay, I got you. Can you
we
name one war? Can you name one war where innocents haven't died? You said innocents don't die in war. Can you name one for me that innocents have never
What's
died
a
in?
war to you? Listen, if
A conflict
it's
between
different
a conflict between two groups, two states, or groups within the states. That's how war is defined. So can you just answer my question now? Can you tell me one war where innocents haven't died?
No, every innocent has died, but it's different.
You just
with,
said right now. Hold on. You just said right
Palestinians.
now that innocents don't
Brother,
die
I
in
know what I
war.
said, brother. Listen.
Okay.
Stop trying to mix it up, man.
I'm
You're
not
acting
mixing it up.
smart.
That's what you said.
I did say, and I take that back. I was wrong. Actually, every innocent pretty much dies, but this is not a war that's happening in Gaza. It's
It is a war.
genocide.
So can you
Why
answer?
have a Palestinian necklace on?
It's Israel, but can you do me a favor? Can you tell me why Hamas declared war on Israel if it wasn't a war? Did you tell
Hamas
them
never
that they were
declared
wrong?
war, brother.
They
Israel's
did.
been occupying the West Bank for 75 years.
Sure.
Actually, all
Well,
Palestine.
actually, no. The West Bank was under control of Jordan until 1967, so you're not even right. But anyways,
that's wrong. I mean, Jordan and Israel are literally one, but okay.
wait, did you just say that's wrong? Can you say that again for the clip? Can you say that Jordan didn't control the West Bank?
What clip, brother? Listen, you're messing around.
Can you just say that? Can you just wait real quick? No, don't change the subject. Can you say that one more time? Can you say that Jordan did not control the West Bank? Can you do me a favor? Is the West Bank on the east side, the west side, the north,
Brother,
or the
you
south?
do me a favor, brother.
He's
Listen,
not going
you
to
do me a
answer. He's just going to keep deflecting.
Brother, you do me a favor, okay?
All right, I'll
You're
answer
killing
your question,
innocent
but can
kids
you
in
answer
Gaza.
my question? Can you tell me where the West Bank is? Okay.
Qamar Bani Hashim. Qamar Bani Hashim.
Is that a mustache, or do you have like lines drawn on your?
No, I have a filter, bro.
Holy shit! Is that like a little patch below? Can you do this? What the fuck is going on, dude? Just shave it. If you can't grow it, you can't grow it.
See, but the thing is I'm trying to grow it, so I have to.
Yeah, but you clearly can't grow it. You know what I mean?
This is like a week, bro.
Yeah, but it's only growing in that spot. Like nothing else is growing. A week, it should grow
I-
together.
It's because I shave everything else.
Why would you do that? That's stupid. Wait, you're
Because
trying to
my
grow a
barber-
beard. You're trying to grow a beard, and your
No,
thought
I'm not trying to grow a beard. I'm
What are you trying to grow?
A goatee.
Well, then where's this part? Do you shave that part too?
That part's not growing.
That's what I'm saying. If you can't grow it, you can't grow it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking shit. Like, it's just genetics, bro. It's if you can't grow it, you can't grow it.
All right, bro. Have a
All
good
right.
day.
TikTok sounds. Oh, this is the one I was talking about. Guys, look, he has the Israeli flag and the American flag.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay. How old are you?
عايزين نخون ها بالله على العير من القهوة
Hey, كان قضي ده كنت العصبان
Israeli.
Oh, this looking good.
Israeli.
Hello.
Hello.
Where are you from?
California. Where are you from?
Texas.
Nice. I used to live
What
in
is
Texas.
that? What is that? Who is that person in the background?
It's the king of Somaliland.
Really?
Hello.
What's up with you? Israel, nigga? You fuck with Israel?
Obviously, that's why I have
I
the
fuck
flag
your
up,
mama,
right?
nigga. I fuck your mama.
Why does every Arab say I fuck your mom? What is it about
Oh,
Arabs and
are
saying
you,
that?
are you streaming?
Yeah.
What's your channel?
How old are you guys?
18.
My channel is Nick Matau
Hold
on
on.
YouTube.
Wait. Wait, what are you trying to do? No, sorry, can I use your YouTube? What are you trying to do?
Well, I just talk about Israel, Palestine, Islam.
Can you
etc.
tell us about it? What's your channel? Sorry, what's your channel?
Nick Matau.
Nick.
Matau. You want me to tell you about it? About Israel, Palestine, Islam.
Wait, can you tell us about it? Oh, look at the other's not 18. The other girl's 18.
Matau. Are you guys 18?
Okay,
Guys, I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Tell us.
Guys,
Talk
I'm
to us.
sorry.
I'm not sure what are you asking? I'm pro Israel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why there's the Israeli flag right there.
No, don't. Okay, tell us about it, please.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. Like, I want to hear what you're like doing.
I am pro-Israel. I think what Israel's doing in their war against the Palestinian terrorist organizations is just and good, and against Iran as well.
Okay. Okay. Wait, sorry. Are they high? Pro Pallies. Why did you try hitting on me? What did I even say? I was just
Probably-
interested. Law, their mood changed. They might be spent. Okay, bye.
Jesus Christ. You should place Bob the Builder face on your wall. Yeah, maybe, Sirwad.
But I don't.
I'm gonna run out of wall room though. That's the problem. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? I know you.
You do know me? Oh, well, hello.
Your name is Nick, right?
Yeah, that's my name. That's true.
I follow you, bro. I think we agree on a lot of things. So
Nice. Well, I appreciate the support. Thanks. Bro, this dude's fucking sleeping. What the fuck? Bro, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep, bro.
Oh, you bitch ass. Yo, I remember debating you with my fucking boys and you lost, bitch.
That never happened.
It happened. With three guys in the car.
You guys say this. Well, first
You
off,
fucking lost.
every Arab is in a car.
You
You
shut
guys
the
are
fuck
always
up,
in a
bitch. You
car.
lost, bro.
Okay.
شفت إذا
He said 3 Arabs in a car, like all Arabs aren't in a car every single time. That's crazy.
I love Arabs when they drive cars.
They're always in cars.
If Arabs want to go to cars, then they can.
I'm
Easy,
saying
bro.
on Omegle, it's like 90% of the times when I connect with them, they're in cars.
Because they like to do hashwallah. You know hashwallah?
No.
It's Saudi driving.
What did you just say?
Hashwallah.
No, after that.
Saudi driving.
What do you mean
Where they
Saudi
do
driving?
They do drifting and shit.
Oh, no, they're not even doing that. They're not even driving. They're just sitting in the car that's off. Sometimes they're driving, but a lot of times they're not.
Who's that fat guy in the sunglasses?
That's the king of Somaliland. I don't think you
Why
should be
is
calling
this-
people fat, bro. You're pretty fucking large.
Well, it's a descriptive word, right?
Okay, he's not really that fat. It's a king
Why
of
are you
Somaliland.
nitpicking? Like, why are you so pressed about the fucking president of Somaliland?
Well, first off, I'm not really that pressed.
You sound pressed.
Dude,
You
I
sound a
couldn't
little
sound any
pressed.
more calm. Like, you act like I'm screaming at you right now
Why are
or
you
something.
supporting the Somali pirates, bro?
It's Somaliland, not Somali. It's a totally different place. Somalia,
Somali.
Somaliland.
Okay, but it's the same ethnic group.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you, bro. They're not pirates. They're the ones that
They're
aren't.
fucking pirates, bro.
They're the ones that don't.
Pirates.
They're the ones that don't do piracy. They're the ones
Yeah,
that.
they're fucking niggers. So true.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You
Have
like
ever thought of
niggers?
like maybe getting up and walking around a little bit?
What are you talking about?
Fuck Israel.
Why does that dude sound so zesty next to you? Is that your boyfriend?
Yeah,
he's like fuck Israel. Like, who the fuck speaks like that?
Who the fuck has a Somalian flag up or a fucking face?
I don't, you fucking retard.
Yeah, you do. You have the fucking president.
That's
You
not the
dupe.
president.
Yeah, bro. You have the president of Somaliland. Why?
First off, I said king, and second off,
It's not
it's
even
not actually
a real country. It's not even a real
First off, it's not
country.
even
The
really
guy-
the king of
the guy's
Somaliland. You
whiter
guys are
than
fucking
fuck.
retarded.
You have the Iranian monarchist flag, which isn't a real country. You have the Israeli flag, which
Thanks for the super chat, Blade. Tell him he's also free to
Maybe
go to
not
the
the-
gym.
Which they took the
land from
Hey,
fucking
Blade said you're
Palestine.
free to. Blade said you're free to go to the gym.
Who's Jim?
I bet he would think immediately a dude. Holy shit. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Good date. What's up?
What's poppin', nigga?
What's up with the Arabs always saying the N-word for?
What's up with you always on my dick?
What?
Bruh. Dude, I feel like Omegle is getting more and more retarded. Like, it's just not like what it used to be.
Oh, Israel. هذا شيف. Do you work with the news?
Yeah.
Really? حاطط سلسلة فلسطين وإسرائيل ورا. Which فلسطين. Which TV one?
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera. You work with Al Jazeera?
Yeah.
Really? Which side?
So
Al Jazeera.
Israel or Palestine? What do you think?
I speak about both.
No, do you just speak or do you support?
Personal.
I support Israel.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Fuck it.
Yeah, run away. Run away like you're scared. Thanks for the super chat. Linus, you're right about these triggered children. They are easily herded by the media sheep herders of the Middle East, along with fake American news. No wonder this world is going to shit. The uneducated will rule the land. That's probably true. Hey, what's up, bro?
What's poppin', bro?
Not much.
Yeah, I don't feel like arguing today, bro. You have a great rest of your day.
Peace. Thanks, Dennis, for super chat. He was so fat he falls out of the bed both sides. That's crazy.
والله شو عندنا واحد
لا منيك هذا ديني
انا ما زبي الله زبي عليك زبي.
Thanks for the super chat, Sir Wad. I bet that last guy grows cheese under his neck. That's gross.
عنده ايران عنده ايران وش اسمه؟
نيك هذا منيوش.
What's up, guys? How are you?
I want to face fuck you. I want to face fuck your mom.
I bet you do. You guys are all gay. What is it with Arabs today and being gay?
I'm gonna make that gay ass bitch pregnant and kill her baby too, bro. You fucking faggot ass motherfucker. I'm gonna smack the dog shit out of you if I see you. Dirty ass nigga. I'm gonna give you a fucking atomic
You're
wedgie.
three dudes in a
Your bitch ass
room.
next to
You guys
dirty
are
ass
three
shit.
dudes in a room hanging out
Fuck you.
together.
Fuck Israel. I'm gonna fuck you and Netanyahu, bro, in the fucking mouth, nigga.
I
Go suck
bet
that
you
nigga's
would.
dick.
Why are all Arabs gay nowadays? They used to be really
Gay as
against
fuck, nigga.
gays, and now they're always like, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass and shit. It's like,
I'm gonna fuck you in the ass, bro. Till you
I
fucking
bet
die.
you would do that, wouldn't you?
I'm gonna fuck your dad. I'm gonna fuck your little brother. Stupid ass.
Dude, his friend's looking at him like, bro, why are you acting gay right now? His friend just looked at him like, what the fuck? Oh, shit.
Oh, I know you. You're that one
Oh, I
guy.
know you too.
Atif Aslam. No. He makes videos on TikTok. I saw
Yeah,
your
you
videos.
too.
I saw your videos.
Oh.
You're
Thanks.
You're a master rage baiter, man.
How am I a master rage baiter?
Master baiter.
Rage
No,
bait.
not master.
Rage baiter
No.
is kind of like you don't believe it, but you're just doing it to get a reaction. I am actually pro-Israel, so it's not really rage baiting, is it?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but like, it's just.
Wait, you're pro-Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hey, man.
Are you Jewish?
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean, man? We're just talking to you. You're just being mean, man.
I know, but come on, dude. It's right there. Why would he guess?
Because he assumed maybe it's like rage bait. Because a lot
I
of
just
people
said.
don't fuck with Israel.
I literally just said I'm not rage baiting.
Wait, why do you have a? Oh, I'm tweaking. Oh my, you have an Israel flag on your neck.
Well, it's not a flag, but
I mean the map.
The land, yeah.
Free Palestine. Bro.
Oh wow, you freed it. You did it. You fucking did it, dude. It's fucking free.
I mean, yo,
wait,
we're just trying to have a civil conversation, man.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm not mad at you guys. It's just like when you say free Palestine for like the 5 billionth time, it's like,
hey,
right,
man,
cool,
I'm not
bro.
saying free Palestine. I mean,
I'm not talking to you. I'm obviously talking to your friend.
This guy.
Yeah,
this guy.
So to be honest, I don't know anything about the situation, so I'm just trolling.
Well,
bro.
most people on the free Palestine side also don't know about the situation.
Hey, explain the situation on your end. I'd love to hear this.
Explain the situation, bro.
No, not
Sure.
even like. Not even like
disrespectful.
Like
Sure,
like
Israel is the tip of the spear in fighting Islamist radical ideology and has done more for the war on terrorism in the past 2 years than NATO has combined in the past 25 years.
Why do you think it's radical?
Why do I think Islam is radical? I've read the Quran twice and I've read over 20,000 hadith, so I just know it is.
All right, give me an example.
Sure. No, how am I pulling numbers out of my ass? I've read all Sahih al-Bukhari, which is about 7,500. I've read Sahih Muslim, which is about 7,000, depending on repetitions or not. And I've read a lot of Abu Dawood. I've read Nasai. I've read about 20,000. What are you talking about? Anyways, whatever. And to give you an example, oh man, there's so many.
Yeah.
I shall cast terror into the hearts of my enemies, so strike the necks of every unbeliever and strike their every finger until they submit.
You just took that out of context as hell.
Well, first off, how can I take it out of context? I didn't even say the context. He asked me, give me an example, and I gave him an example. If you want to talk about the context, we can talk about it. I find it interesting. 1 second. Well, no, that's actually the entire verse. I said it. Actually, it's 2 verses, technically. I didn't take one part. That is literally from start to finish. But I do find it funny.
On TikTok. I hope you know that. It's gonna. I mean, that's cool.
Okay. Anyways, I do find it funny that every Muslim's answer, I call it ka. Do you guys want to know what ka means? It's every answer every Muslim gives. C stands for, they'll say context. Almost always. Even before I finished the sentence, he was like, oh, context, context. It's like every answer. A stands for Arabic.
We won't be like that.
Hold
All
on
right,
1 second.
Just continue.
A stands for Arabic. If they don't say context, they'll say, oh, it's different in Arabic, trust me. Or they'll say W, which is whataboutism. If they can't answer the context or the Arabic, they'll say, well, what about in Judaism or Christianity? That's like the same 3 answers every Muslim in the world gives.
That's low-key true. No, I agree with that.
No, I mean, you're fact. I mean, that's facts. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm probably not as intelligent as you in this matter, but I'm just gonna stand on what I say.
Well, nobody is, but we can still have a conversation.
Still free Palestine. I don't believe Islam is radical religion. And
why don't you believe Islam's a radical religion? We don't have to debate. We can also have a conversation. It doesn't have to be like you get me, I get you kind of thing.
I mean, bro. See, I'm not very educated on my own religion itself.
I'm not asking you.
I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna be.
But I'm not asking you to answer what I. I'm not. Well, let me just say one sentence real quick. I'm not asking you to answer. If you don't know, you don't know. Just say I don't know about that. I'll look into it. But I asked you, why don't you think it's a radical religion? You have to have some knowledge to make that conclusion.
All right, listen. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. I grew up Muslim, right? I grew up in a Muslim family. I grew up around Muslims my whole life. Never have I ever seen like anything to make me believe that Islam or anything that I'm learning is.
But I didn't say Muslims were always radical. Maybe your family's not radical. I said Islam is radical. Muslims can be wonderful people that don't follow Islam correctly.
Boss, could I say something? I'm a atheist. Like, I'm just chilling. Right. So what I'll say is, like, I've studied so many religions. The only religion I haven't actually studied in depth is Islam. I've heard both sides. But what I'll say is, like, the concept of religion in general is like it was almost made like the same way like tribal like ideas and like how farmers would gather. It's like you could call it like a I don't really know how to word it, but like I feel like in that way, all religions can easily be taken out of context. And in my opinion, like I feel like it just happened that Islam was a religion that was taken out of context because like Hinduism, Sikhism, any religion could be taken out of context to be felt like their religion is like the highest. But there must have been
I've read the context of Islam. I've read Tafsir, and I've read all of it. So I'd be more than glad to tell you why you're wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so for the verse I gave you, it specifically says that it's referenced in time of war. But when you ask what is war in Islam and how it's defined, Islam, how they define war and when they're at war is completely different than how you or I would probably define war. It's not just straight up direct attacks, the external jihad. There's 4 major jihads, the most important being internal jihad. But external, beyond that, and how they reference countries or today countries, but areas that are not under the control of Islam, they call it Dar al-Hab, which means house of war.
Well, that Dar al-Harb that you're talking about, that's actually Persia. They were talking about Persia at the time.
No, they call it to Israel as well. It's not just Persia.
And Israel didn't exist back then. It was it was the children of Israel that existed back then. Israel wasn't a state. It was just.
Well, there was no such thing as a state back then. It was a kingdom.
I mean, I didn't say it was, I said it wasn't a state.
No, I'm saying states didn't exist back then, so there was no states, but there was a kingdom.
It was part of the Roman Empire at the time.
Well, actually, definitely not, dude. What are you talking about?
It was.
Oh, you're talking about when Islam spread?
Yeah, when Islam spread.
Right, but in the Quran, when it references Moses and the children of Israel, it definitely was not the Roman Empire. But you're correct. Islam did kick out the Byzantines, which were Eastern Romans. But I'm not talking about when Islam spread. I'm talking about the words of the Quran. Like, for example, in Surah, I think it's 4. Anyways, it says Moses said to his people, go into the land that Allah promised to the children of Israel and do not turn back only to end up as losers. That comes from the Quran. It's not, obviously, that wasn't talking about during the time of the Roman Empire.
Well, okay, listen. The children of Israel at the time, they were the chosen people. They still were the chosen.
Who is King Dawood?
Children of Israel. Let me tell you about the children of Israel. They were God's chosen people for a specific amount of time, and then they shifted their ways. They started.
I know what Islam teaches, but can you answer me this? Who is King Dawood in Islam? Who is King Dawood?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have that much knowledge on that part.
You don't know who David is?
I know it's David. I know it's
okay.
David,
Can you tell me who he was the king of?
I can't tell you.
Israel and Judea. Actually, he was a king of both.
I mean Judea, but
how can he be a king if there was no kingdom?
What are you talking about, bro?
How could King David have existed as a king? Who was he a king over? If there was no, you're saying there was no kingdom of Israel.
The Jews back then, because
right, but the kingdom. What was the kingdom called?
Kingdom of Judea.
And Israel. He was king of both, actually.
I mean, listen, Israel back then and Israel now, 2 different things. Modern day Israel is Zionism, right? We weren't ever against Jew. Yeah, yes, it is. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise.
Well, Zionism goes back to the Babylonian exile, so you're just wrong. But
Zionism is what literally Israel's all about. I mean, I don't think there's a single.
Zionism doesn't exist today. Zionism's completed. The state exists. There is no Zionism. People say Zionist colloquially, but it's really done.
Exists because they don't want to keep the state. They want to expand the state. Do you know about?
I hope so, but they don't. Israel? Unfortunately, I think they should.
All right. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's Zionism right there. You want to spread the state. The kingdom.
Well, I just think the world would be better with more. Sure, I'll explain. The world would be better with more. Sure, I'm trying to answer you. You keep asking, but I'm trying to answer. Anyways, the world would be better with more Americas and more Israels and less Irans, less IRGCs specifically, less Palestinians, less that kind of radical ideology. The world would be better with more Israels and more Americas.
Yeah.
Western ideology, democracy, stuff like that. Why would I want Palestine to have a state when they incorporate Sharia law, they incorporate cousin marriages, pedophilia, radical ideology, terrorism, IRGC proxy? Why would I want more of that? Why would you want more of that? You're American.
I mean, I never said I wanted here. I mean, Sharia law. Have you ever lived
Oh,
under
you just
Sharia
want it
law?
over there?
I mean, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and like lie and shit, but like I'm still saying that like Sharia law, if it's in a Muslim state, then obviously it's gonna be better. Even in America, it would be better. And a lot of crime rates would go down. I would say that.
Well, yeah, crime rates are pretty low in places like Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Gulf states, but that's because punishment is so extreme. They chop people's hands off. They throw people in prison for the smallest amounts for very, very long time. So, of course, crime rate would go down, but it also comes with a massive amount of oppression, slavery, indentured servitude. You're for that?
Indentured servitude and slavery.
Yeah, like there's modern day slavery going on in the Gulf states and the Muslim states. What they do is they bring in migrant workers, steal their passports, and force them to not be able to leave. You think that's a good thing?
Oh, well, listen. A lot of family members from where I'm from, they do go to Saudi to work, and I can tell you, they don't take away their passports. They work there. They can come
That's an
back whenever they
anecdotal.
want.
That's anecdotal. That doesn't mean anything to me. First off, they don't do it to Arabs. They do it to a lot of Asian,
And
Indians,
guess what?
Filipinos.
I'm not Arab.
Okay, I
I'm
just
not
assumed you were
Arab.
because you tagged Arab, but okay, fair enough. What are you?
So, I'm from Pakistan, bro.
Okay, let me rephrase. They don't do it to Muslims, okay? They do it to non-Muslims, but nonetheless, he's gone to Saudi Arabia to work?
No, I'm talking about
Okay, then
like,
there was no reason to
like,
point to him. It doesn't matter then.
no, like people like him, like
Sure,
non-Muslims.
yeah. Oh, okay, sure.
Stuff
I
like
guess
that.
like him. So what I'm saying is they do it to Africans,
That's
they
too
do it
loud.
to Indians,
Am I still
etc.
too loud? Not too loud.
But anyways, what I'm saying to you is you're saying Sharia law would come with less
Don't get
crime.
excited.
That's
No,
probably
yes.
true, but it also comes
I just
with
want to hear what he's saying.
Okay. It also comes with, like, for example, how do you feel that they treat women in Islamic countries?
They treat him completely fine, bro.
Okay, so in Sharia court, women are not allowed to testify against men, and even if they do, 2 women are needed to equal the testimony of 1 man. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, man.
You think that's fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
Well, see, you know what? Remember, earlier he said, I grew up in an Islamic household, and I'm not, he said this, he said, I'm not extreme, and now he's admitting
Oh my
that
god, I'm
women
gonna get
should
clipped
be...
and put on TikTok. Yo, please.
No,
do
it's
me a
just
favor, please.
it's funny how many Muslims say, "Well, I'm not extreme. My family's not extreme," and then they straight up say, "Yeah, it's fair that women are allowed to testify." Like that's insane. So you guys are extreme. You just don't think you are. You just proved it. You just proved my point.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's why we shouldn't. That's why we shouldn't be letting more of your people into this country.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna do all that, bro. Like,
But you agree with it.
I mean, sure, I agree with it.
Exactly. So why should we let more of Pakistanis, Syrians, other Muslim countries, why should we allow them into America? You don't have the same values as us. Clearly, you don't have the same values as us. Individualism,
I mean, see,
humanism.
this is why freedom of speech exists. Freedom of religion exists.
Of course.
So you can practice what you preach, believe whatever you want.
Only if
do
you
whatever
follow
you
the
want.
rules of the land, though.
Exactly. So
Right. So pedophilia, which is allowed in Islam, you can't do that in America.
I mean, Twin, you're on stolen land. I hope you remember that too. So I mean, what
Why the
rules?
fuck? What are you, a leftist? Oh, every stolen land. Yeah, every fucking land in the world has been stolen, if you will. But okay, yeah, I'm on stolen land. Why are you here then?
It's stolen land. It's for
I'm indigenous American. I'm part. My mom on my mom's side we're Apache and Choctaw. Why are you here, Pakistani?
Because I came here legally. The fuck?
But I thought it was stolen land. But I thought it was stolen land.
It is stolen.
Why are you on stolen land?
Why
are you on stolen? I just said we're Apache and Choctaw. Why are you here?
As a middleman, I get both points. I think what they're trying to say. Wait, listen. I
He's
think
trying
what
to use
they're
the
trying to
leftist
say-
argument of stolen land.
Wait, sir, just listen. I think what they're trying to say is like, because it's stolen land, everyone can practice what they want and anyone can come into the country because it's stolen.
What are you talking? It's not stolen land. Jesus Christ. Can you explain Pakistan? How old is Pakistan?
No,
and don't lie.
Basically,
How
the whole world,
old?
like you.
Let's try
like you
again.
said,
Let's
sir.
try again. You're not getting out of this question. How old is Pakistan? When
I
did
don't know.
Pakistan start existing?
In 1979.
No, definitely not.
Sorry,
Jesus Christ.
1948.
No, that's not right either. Jesus fucking Christ. You don't know your own history? 1947.
I'm Indian, so I don't know.
Who is this thing?
Anyways, it's 1947. Can you tell me how Pakistan came about?
Separation between India and Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, who started that partition? Who was in control before?
The Islamic?
Bro,
The
some
British.
guy, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Holy
It's
God.
insane how little you guys know about your own land. Anyways, the British.
Hey, bro, just because I don't know
I'm trying
that
to
much
tell
doesn't
you.
mean I
I'm
can't
trying to
have
tell you.
opinions.
That's fine. I'm trying to tell you. So 1947, there was the partition plan with the British, okay? And it was just the same as Israel, Palestine, if you will, with the partition plan they proposed. But the difference is that the Indians and Pakistanis, which Pakistani's not a real thing, but whatever, they accept it. And there was over like 1 million deaths. There was over 10 million displaced people. They switched sides effectively. The Muslims go what is today Pakistan, and the Hindus stay in India, right? And your whole country was founded. Your country, Pakistan, is literally an acronym. It's not even like a real country. It's an acronym.
I guess, bro.
It is. Look it up. It's an acronym.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like we're not educated enough to debate with you on this.
No, all right. Listen, hey, listen. All right, all stuff aside, you're arguing with a couple of high school teens over topics that you're more knowledgeable on.
I'm agreeing with that. I'm saying,
and
how old are you guys?
Bro,
wait, real quick, can you just give like give a
How old are
basic?
you? Real quick, I'll answer. How old are you?
18.
Yes, same.
Okay, you're adults then, so it doesn't really matter. You could vote.
Okay. Question. Can you just give a basic like top down for like your basic points?
He did a couple minutes ago. He's like,
yeah.
I don't even just to say it again. I don't think you heard.
For what? Israel, Palestine?
For Israel, Palestine. Yeah, I'm just curious.
All right.
Yeah, so I believe Israel is the tip of the spear in fighting against Islamic radicalists, terrorism, IRGC proxy groups, and they've done more for the war on terrorism in the past 2 years than NATO even has done combined in the past 25 years.
I see. Okay. Hey, just do me one favor. If you are recording this, please don't post this because I know you be clipping people and shit. Like, don't take me out of context and don't try to clip me.
I'll tell you what. I'll post the entire conversation, so there's no context missing.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
but just say you don't want to be posted,
bro. I don't want to be taken out of context. I don't want to.
Actually, this is actually a single state. You don't have to give consent, and also there's something called informed consent. When I tell you I'm live, which I did, and you continue the conversation, it's called informed consent.
I mean, you never told me I'm live.
I did actually at the very beginning. But that being said, you also just said right now, if you're recording this, so it literally would be informed consent. This is legally binding, actually. That being said, I don't know if I'm not gonna clip you anyways. I'm just letting you know that.
I mean, yeah, because I'm just trying to have a conversation with y'all. I'm not trying to have like a internet debate or anything. Like you feel me?
I don't think he's feeling any, bro.
I don't think he's feeling any, bro.
I heard you say it like 10 times already. It's like, I got it, dude. You don't feel very educated on the topic. I got that.
You gotta cheer up, man. We're just trying to talk. Literally.
Just
cheer up. Just
I couldn't be
just
happier.
talk.
I couldn't be happier.
I mean, yeah, it just does like.
I feel like the more you get emotional right now, the more I want to clip you now. Like I don't know if I was going to, but now I feel like I'm going to.
Now I'm just like, all right, because
bro, let's just put it at this. Like, I don't think I'm not obviously like you said, we're not educated enough to like be debating with you. You clearly know more about it. I mean, I just said free Palestine because that's what I hear everyone say. I'm not educated enough to like make a decision, bro.
That right there was like the most pro-Palestinian thing I've ever heard. I just said it because everyone else is saying it. I like that. Actually,
the thing is, the funny thing is, I didn't even like know what you were like, what your purpose was on here. I just said it.
No, I just thought that was pretty funny. That was good. I like that.
Yeah, you just got clipped. You just got clipped. Hey, man. You're funny.
He said straight up, I just said it because everyone else is saying it. That is like 90% of the pro-Palestinian movement right there.
I'm not even part of the movement, bro. I can't lie.
You just said it just to say it.
Yeah, bro. I'm just here like.
Hey, listen. I'm just saying free Palestine just because children are dying, women are dying, people are dying. You know what?
Yeah,
there shouldn't be. Hey, listen. There shouldn't be any war. why can't we all just be peaceful, man? Like, why can't we just spread peace? Like, why can't that exist, man? No, don't come saying, oh, radical Islam, this and that. It's issues on both sides. Like, listen, no one's perfect. Not one thing's perfect.
Yeah, there's a
bro.
difference between not being perfect and going into a sovereign country. Whether you like that it's a sovereign country or not, it's still a sovereign country. And then going into slaughter 1,200 people, going to a music festival, slaughtering over 350 of them, kidnapping 250.
No, no, no,
no.
Oh my god. What's going on with this dude? What's going on with you, bro?
What's up, man?
Bro, this song is fire. I'm down with
Why
this
is everyone on Omegle fucking weird, dude?
shit. No, right? Such fucking weirdos on here, bro.
I'm.
It's okay, bro. I just unmuted. Oh, Israel. I don't give a fuck, to be honest, if they have muted. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you? What is your ethnicity exactly?
Italian, Spanish, partially English, Mexican.
Why you have all these flags, but not your flags?
I do have my flag. I'm American, bro. It's the big one.
Listen, let me talk to you about something. Where's your grandpa from your dad's side? Grandma and grandpa.
Dad's side, Spain and Mexico. And mom's side, mostly Italian. But I have other stuff, but those are the two big ones.
Okay. What language they speak?
Okay, so my mom is from America, so she speaks English. Okay, my dad, my biological dad, is from Mexico, so he speaks English and Spanish. My dad that raised me since I was 1 is Samoan. He's from Western Samoa. He speaks Samoan and English.
He's Iraqi?
What? Samoan.
Oh, I thought you said Samoa. That's like.
Oh, I was about to say, I don't even know how you got that.
No, I thought you said Samoa. So, guys, I just proved to you the Israelis are nowhere near from Israel.
I'm not Israeli. Fucktard. Fucking retard. Why didn't you just ask? Yeah, but you just said to whoever your 5 people you're talking to, you just said, "Oh, I just proved that." Proved what? I'm not Israeli, dude. I have it because I support them. I'm also not Persian, but I support the Persian people. Why didn't you just ask me if I was Israeli?
Not American.
What does that have to do with assuming I'm Israeli? Even though I never said anything about being Israeli at all.
Appreciate you.
Are you Pakistani?
No, bro. I'm Iraqi.
No, you're not. You're Pakistani.
Nowhere near Pakistan. Do I look like Pakistani to you, stupid nigga?
You do.
Guys, let me. Do I look like a fucking Pakistani to you?
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
You stupid motherfucker. I'm Arab, more Arab than your grandpa would be.
True, I'm not Arab, so that's true.
Take that shit off.
You just look like your mom and dad are cousins. So I thought you were Pakistani.
Nowhere near cousins. Nowhere near.
Sister?
My
brother?
dad is Iraqi. My mom is Syrian. There's two different countries.
Mashallah.
Don't say mashallah. May Allah curse you.
Mashallah, habibi.
This
Yo, hey, are you real?
Am I real? Yeah. What do you mean?
Bro, okay. But you can skip me right after this. I just want to say thank you for your content. I've always, I've seen your content, and I was in between the Israel-Palestine debate, and I feel like after seeing your content, it kind of really just goes to show like how much the media is really lying to push pro-Palestine stuff. So thank you for your content, brother. I follow your Instagram. I've been seeing your videos daily, and keep on doing your good work, brother.
Appreciate that. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
God bless you, man. Good night.
God bless. Yeah.
Oh shit. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, bro.
I like your little Snorlax in the background.
Appreciate it, bro. So you have is that a Iran and Israel flag? Are you like mixed?
Well, this is the old Iranian flag. It's not the IRGC. You know that, right?
Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not Jewish.
Are you? Why do you have the Israel flag?
I support them.
You support Israel?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but I guess to answer you somewhat quickly, I believe they're the tip of the spear in fighting the IRGC proxy Islamic radical groups, and they've done more for the war on terrorism in the past 2 years than I was in the military, U.S. military for like 12 years, than all of NATO combined has done in the past 25 years.
I don't know. I just think that like what they're doing in like Palestine and like them striking like places like Lebanon is just not okay.
Why are they striking Lebanon?
I think it's like they say they're targeting terrorists, but they kind of throw that label around pretty loosely.
Okay, so let's see if they're telling the truth or not. What terrorist groups exist in Lebanon? I'm not sure. Why don't you educate me?
There's a few of them. Am I not wrong?
Okay, so when they're targeting terrorists and you agree that the terrorist organizations exist, by the way, their name's Hezbollah. If they exist, then what do you mean they're throwing it around loosely? Don't you think they have a pretty strong case?
I don't know. I think Hezbollah's kind of based.
Okay, but regardless if you think that or not, that's a deflection from the topic. You said originally they're throwing it around loosely as if you're implying that they're not actually hitting anyone or they don't exist or whatever you were implying. And now you're saying, oh, they do exist and I like them. You're kind of contradicting yourself already.
No. I'm saying they throw
Okay,
the label around loosely. I said they throw the label around loosely. I didn't never said that like they don't exist. That never came out of my mouth.
So every single strike, I got you. So just so you know, every single strike, which is public information, you can look up where the strikes are on the map. They all match up perfectly with Hezbollah strongholds. So can you explain to me, do you think that's just a coincidence that they happen to be hitting southern Beirut, south of the Litani River, and up in the northeast where Hezbollah literally has taken control over Lebanon for at least for the past 20 years, if not longer? Can you tell me why that is a thing, or do you think that's just the biggest coincidence ever?
I just think that they shouldn't be attacking sovereign nations.
That's cool, but you're not really answering my question. If you don't know, say I don't know, but you're just kind of ignored my question completely. Do you think that's a big coincidence?
That they're targeting
specifically the areas that are Hezbollah strongholds in Lebanon.
Why does that matter?
Because you're saying they're throwing it around loosely. If they wanted to just target and hit Lebanon for, can you let me finish, bro?
I'm not talking in just Lebanon specifically.
I know, but that's what we're talking about right now. I know there's other topics we can get to it, but that's your latest claim. I got it. We can talk about other spots in a second. But with Lebanon, they specifically are hitting the areas that Hezbollah has strongholds over, south of the Litani River specifically, in southern Beirut, and also in the northeast area. And I'm asking you, do you think that's just one big coincidence? I can't hear you, bro. You're muted. Are you just like not going to answer my question? I'm confused, dude.
Like they could be they're probably targeting different types of bases, but like whenever I make that claim, I'm talking about loosely around the Middle East. And
okay, but can we start with Lebanon? Is that okay? Like, can we just start with there before we move on to other spots?
I don't really care about Lebanon.
Okay, then why did you bring it? What the fuck did you bring it up for then?
No, I said that
this guy's the worst fucking debater ever. Holy shit.
Like that's just like something that's happening like currently right now. That's just like kind of like a
cool. So you don't actually care. So what do you care about?
Right, all right, back awesome. Against occupation.
That's great. Hezbollah is not being occupied at all. In fact, Lebanese government is saying that they're actually occupiers and they're trying to expel them. So just so you know, Hezbollah is funded by who? Who are they a proxy group of?
I don't really care.
So why do you keep bringing it up?
Why do I care who they're funded by?
Because they're the ones occupying Lebanon, and you're saying they're fighting against occupation when the Lebanese government themselves is working with Israel to expel Hezbollah. So you seem to not actually care about sovereignty. You just use it as a talking point. I'm almost done. 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 All right, I'm just going to mute you. Speak however much you want. So you seem to care about it when you think it's a talking point until you get debunked. This is like the most obvious like liberal talking point. They say something and then when they get debunked, they go, "Well, I don't actually care anyways." Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. I just need you to try your best to answer the questions that you brought up, by the way.
What questions?
Jesus fucking Christ. Are you like retarded or something?
I don't know, bro. I think your estrogen levels are.
Jesus fucking Christ. Let's move on. Hello.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm fine. Catch up with some of these super chats. Let's see. Oh, I've missed a couple super chats. Bet that last guy. Oh, wait, I already read that. See how they continue to prove your points unbelievable. Thanks, Linus. Thanks, Blade. 3 bros in 1 room coming soon. Wime, Nick, you're wrong, but I don't know how. That's funny. Actually, let me scroll up so you guys can read it together. There it is. Branca, 2 Muslims in a darkened room looking into each other's eyes. Blade, how about all the stolen Christian land in the Middle East by Islamists? That's true. Without lies, Islam dies. One congressman recently suggesting that we designate Islam as a terrorist organization. What are your thoughts on how can it be implemented? That's not smart. What you should do is first designate it as more of a political movement than a religion. Because it is. It's way more of a political movement. It's not even close. In fact, a lot of Muslims will actually admit that that's true. I don't think you should deem it as a terrorist organization. Wime, are Arabs on their 2000s white boy stoner phase right now? Blade, this guy knows shit. And Panda, he looks like Adam Driver and Shaggy Rogers had a kid. That's hilarious.
No thanks, no.
Calls. Damn bitch.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you guys Republicans or are you looking for Republicans?
I more just like to look for the stupid people that come with the liking it. You know? I find a lot of lower IQ individuals.
You probably should look more for like MAGA. Like, I think I am conservative, but I think MAGA has a lot of.
That's
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
I don't have that as an interest.
You should.
I need to add that. Toodaloo.
Might. Even though I do support President Trump, but there's a lot of retards in MAGA. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, yo, but you put me on your TikTok. You got me famous, so fuck with that.
Okay.
From Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka?
Wait, what up with the flag, bro?
Which one?
The Mexico one? Yeah.
There is no Mexico one up there. What are you talking about?
The blue and white one, isn't that Mexico?
Are you guys retarded? You think Mexico is blue and white?
Where are you from?
America, California.
America. Why do you have that flag up there?
Do you guys think Mexico is a blue and white flag?
Yeah.
Is it not?
I mean, they're looking.
I've never seen that blue and white flag before, though.
Yeah.
Why are all Arabs retarded, dude?
What's up?
What's up, man?
What the fuck is this rage bait, bro?
Pass. The blue and white is Mexico.
Nah,
Was Mexico all along? That's hilarious. Yeah, they're pretty dumb. The Iran flag looks more Mexican. I know, right? That's what I thought she was talking about, actually. Bro, cut your hair, dude. What's up? Oh man, the dude had a Palestinian flag. Why the fuck would he skip? I feel like this would be like the one person you'd want to talk to. What's up, man?
I watch you, bro.
Oh, thanks.
Gee, I just watched your video, debating that Iraqi girl for the second time.
Huh, yeah.
But I support your beliefs, so I can't.
I'm going, bro. Appreciate you.
See ya.
Oh, man. Guy was from Saudi Arabia. What's up?
You're a faggot.
He's a faggot. Hey, I know him. Are you okay?
You're on here all day.
Oh, you're from Canada. Oh, sorry.
That's what it says, man. It's not hard to read.
I know. I said sorry.
You didn't apologize, man. It's okay. What's wrong?
This guy's boring.
Get up on his bitch ass, leave him down.
Some.
But God.
What's up, man? Saudi Arabia. Nice.
Holy shit. Why do you got an Israeli flag up?
I support Israel.
What makes you support Israel?
They're fighting the war on terrorism. They've done more in the past 2 years than NATO has done in the past 25 years.
But what do you define as fighting terrorism?
The IRGC, stronghold, and proxy groups spread throughout the Middle East all the way to the Western Hemisphere.
Does that include bombing women and children that are innocent?
Yeah, I mean, innocents do die in war, especially when you are fighting against a
they
guerrilla. Wait, hold
die
on.
as-
I'm almost done. Especially when you fight against a guerrilla warfare unit who hides behind civilians and dresses as civilians. But
funny 'cause-
Israel has very clearly minimized civilian deaths. How many tons of bombs? Well, let me prove it to you. How many tons of bombs has Israel dropped since October 7th? Since the war started?
Inform me, because I've seen it almost every day.
Over 200,000 tons. How many people have died according to Hamas, including Hamas terrorists, everyone combined, not just civilians?
Say.
Why is it that
No,
pro-Pallies
say,
never
just say.
know? Okay, 72,000 is what they say, okay? Again, that's not civilians, that's everyone combined. So let me ask you a question. How many people, conservative amount, or you can go liberal if you want, how many people would die from just one explosive if they were trying to target civilians?
Repeat the question.
Just one explosive. How many people do you think would die from one explosive if Israel was trying to target civilians, or if they just didn't care if civilians died or not?
I mean, I don't know, because it seems like they're specifically targeting where
Just give me a
innocent
number that
people
you
are.
think makes sense, like a number that makes sense to you. One explosive, right? How many people would it kill?
I'm not gonna take a guess. If you know, just say it.
Well, no, I mean, everyone has a different. Some people might say 10, some people might say 100, some people might say 5. I'm just asking. It's not a trick question, dude. You don't have to like be defensive.
No. Look, I know that, but
boom,
I'd
boom,
rather
airstrike, boom. How many people do you think would die?
I'd rather not take a guess. If you know the answer, just say it. I'm not gonna.
Again, it's not an answer I can answer for you. It's what you think. I don't know why you're making it so difficult to answer.
Okay.
Like if you asked me, I would say, you know, a big explosive, 100 people. A general one, 10 people. That's what I would say. But what do you think?
I mean, I don't know what number to throw out. I don't know what numbers.
You're the one that's accusing Israel of killing way more people.
Yes,
but now that I'm asking you a basic question, you're like, well, I don't know. It's kind of.
Well, you're asking me to take a guess. Why would I take a guess?
So then why are you making the accusation if you can't even answer the most basic question?
Well, it's not an accusation. It's a fact.
It is. Okay, well, let me tell you why it's not. Okay, let me tell you why it's not a fact. Let me tell you why it's not a fact, okay? And why my statement is correct. Innocents have died in this war. That's true. I'm saying they've minimized the deaths. You immediately went, no, they haven't. Minimized doesn't mean people don't die. What minimized means is for the conditions of the war, Gaza being a densely populated area, fighting against a group that dresses like civilians and hides behind civilians, I'm saying they've done a very good job at minimizing. And you're saying that's not true. The only way you could be right is if you take the number of bombs that have been dropped, explosives used, bullets used, and you compare it to how many have died. Okay, so 72,000 have been killed, including all terrorists. Okay. My point to you is even if one person was killed per explosive, which is the smallest you can go, one person, okay? 200,000 tons of bombs, or explosives, that's like 500,000 explosives. Probably more, but conservatively, it's like 500,000. So even if only one person died per explosive, that's 500,000 deaths, okay? You agree? 1 times 500,000 is 500,000. That doesn't include any bullets, by the way. That's not even ground. That's just explosives. I haven't even counted any bullets. So add however many on top of that have just been shot by IDF soldiers, okay? So that 500,000 becomes 1 million. If it was 10 people per explosive, now that's 5 million people, which is 2.5 times the entire population of Gaza. So my question to you is, let's go with the smallest amount, 1 person per explosive, just 1. Can you explain to me, how is it that Israel is killing so many civilians and they're not minimizing civilian deaths? But even when you take the number of Hamas terrorists and civilians that have been killed, why is it only at 72,000 and not at least 1 million or 500,000 at minimum? Can you explain that to me? Just basic math, statistics. Numbers don't lie, right?
Okay, I'm gonna say this honestly. Just simplify the question.
Okay, why is the number only
is
the number only at 72,000 and not 500,000? Because 500,000 would be equal to 1 person dying per explosive.
I think by this point the number is way higher. If you look at the news, you'll see all of Gaza. Look, all those buildings. It's not even buildings, dude.
Those are buildings. Those aren't people.
It's piles of concrete. Okay, you know how many bodies are
that has
under
nothing
that
to do with
concrete?
people.
All
Not
the little
much.
kids,
According
all the
to the
women.
entire Gaza Health Ministry, it's less than 12,000 people in total from October 7th.
Look,
I'm
not to
literally
mention-
giving you the numbers from the
Look,
Hamas people themselves, and you're
my
like,
point, my argument is
your
why
point is
can't you-
emotions. You're an emotional.
No.
You're using emotions.
No,
You're not
you don't
using
see me
facts.
acting
You're not using
emotional. You don't see
statistics.
me acting
You're acting emotional
emotional.
right now because you're not answering my questions about statistics, math, numbers, Hamas. You're just answering about. Okay, go ahead.
I asked one question. You went diving down this rabbit hole of all these other questions. My question to you is:
It's actually not that difficult, honestly, dude. I don't know. Maybe you're just not smart, but it
I
wasn't
never
really
said
a
it was
difficult
difficult.
question.
I never said it was
Okay.
difficult. You're twisting words. You went down this rabbit hole.
You literally
okay?
said, "Can you simplify what you just said?" You literally thought it was difficult.
Okay, no. But this whole thing started from me asking, what defines terrorism to you? Okay. And the thing is,
Sure,
look,
I can.
right or wrong, didn't they say Hamas is hiding under tunnels?
Well, they literally were. I mean, this isn't even up for argument. They
Okay,
literally had tunnels.
so then why go bomb the towns full of women and children?
Wait, do you think
when
all
the
Hamas members are in the tunnels 24/7? They never leave them? Do you actually think
no,
that?
But
okay.
No.
That would have been really stupid if you said that. That would have been so retarded.
Look.
Okay.
I don't think that, but I don't think it's worth killing. The ratio of children and women compared to the Hamas that
It's very small. It's very small. It's within the global average, actually.
There's a difference between...
Just so you know, in Aleppo in 2016, we killed 32 civilians for every 1 combatant. In Gaza, it is significantly smaller than that. It's not even close to that.
The thing
and by the way, just so you know, I'm using Hamas's numbers too. This isn't even like the IDF's numbers. This is if we believe Hamas, which I don't. So even with Hamas's numbers, you're wrong.
Look, I think there's a difference between casualties and just straight up genocide. Like, you can't. It's
not genocide.
You can't say it's not genocide. I know.
I can, and I can prove it to you actually. So what is genocide? What's the definition? The legal definition of genocide?
Is it not specifically zoning in white cleansing? Pretty much. I know. It's cleansing.
It's not
ethnically. I know
ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing is different, actually.
Okay. You define genocide. Define it.
Well, I'm not going to define it. We just go to the 1948 convention. It was ratified in 1951. Specifically says the dole special is a special intent to destroy an entire protected population in whole or in part based off of certain actions with 2 elements that are required, mental and physical element. Okay. So you would have to see that they are, and I guess by protected group, you're saying Gazans, right? Because that's who they're genociding, is the Gazan people. And so
Palestinian women and children.
Well, again, you don't genocide just women and children. It's a protected group, in this case, Gazans, nationality, ethnicity. Anyways, my point to you, right, is there is 2.1 million people in Gaza today, right? 2.1 to 2.2. It's different estimates, different whatever. Do you know how many people there were on October 6, 2023, the day before Hamas launched the same exact amount? In fact, there's actually more Gazans in the world today than there was on October 7th. Can you name for me a genocide ever in history where the population goes up? Just one? Do you know what the average decline is when you take all genocides in history and you look at the average decline percentage-wise? Do you know what the average is on how much a population goes down during genocides?
No.
On average, 30%. It goes down 30%. The Gazans have gone up. So can you explain to me why it's a genocide?
Dude, there's a difference between look. Okay, they're calling Hamas combatants, right?
They literally are. They're the military wing of Hamas.
Okay, look. The issue is there's more. I know I'm right on this. There's more innocent people dying, way more than just Hamas. Okay.
That's true. There are, just like almost all guerrilla warfare, more times there's going to be more innocent civilians that die than the actual combatant group.
Okay, but
it's not way more.
Here's the next thing. You can't say these are casualties when they're bombing these. There's refugee camps set up, little kids, women, fathers. Okay, set up. They don't even have food or water half the time. Okay,
they would die if they didn't have water, so that's just not true.
Okay, yeah, and a ton of them are.
No one's died from no one's died from thirst. No, that's just not true. But real quick, let me ask you something. You're saying they're bombing innocent areas, like civilian areas. Can you tell me what military base did Hamas have on October 6, 2023 that you would like the IDF to target? Can you just name one base for me? One military infrastructure?
I'm not talking about military bases. I'm talking
you
about
are, because if hold on, there's a reason I'm asking, because if you don't have any bases, then what's left? And do you agree Gaza is a densely populated area? It's very small, it's very densely populated. Can we agree on that?
I guess, yeah, sure.
Okay, so if they don't have any like bases or military infrastructure, where do they do their operations out of? Hamas, like when they launch rockets and stuff, where do they do it from if they don't have bases or like military split off areas? Well, if it's a densely populated area, what's left? Like, what's left? If it's not military infrastructure, what's left? You just agreed it's a densely populated area. You agreed it's small, so what's left? Come on, you use a little bit of common sense. What's left?
Look.
No. You don't get to You don't get to ignore that question. What's left?
I know what you're getting at.
No, but why don't you just say it? You don't want to say it because you know I'm right.
I know what you're getting at.
So say it. What's left? I'm not, dude. You're not going to get to ignore this question. You're not going to get. So you're not actually out for truth. You're just out to like win an argument. That's why you're afraid to say what you know is true.
Look. You're not letting me talk.
I want you to say the truth. No, I want you to talk, but I want you to answer the question.
Just let me speak.
So you're not going to answer the question. You're just going to completely ignore it.
You're throwing a tantrum over me not admitting what you want to hear. Look,
it's not what I want to hear. Answer honestly. What is left? If
it is not what you want to hear. Look,
so you're just not going to answer because you know that you're wrong.
Okay,
you're just going to ignore the question completely.
If you let me talk.
Are you going to answer?
If you just close your mouth for a second, let me talk.
If you answer, I'll close my mouth. Go ahead.
Look. I know what you're trying to get at.
Okay, so I'm going to continue to interrupt you until you answer or you skip. I don't care which one.
Okay, so
if you cannot just ignore the question.
Finish my sentence.
Okay, so you're just not going to answer.
Look, no. Look. I get what
you're doing it right now. It doesn't matter what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at the truth, Habibi. I'm trying to get at the truth. So why don't you just answer instead of running like a bitch about it?
Every other Zionist. Look.
He really doesn't want to answer.
I know you're trying to say they use these densely populated areas with civilians.
Why don't you just
That's what you're trying to get at. That's what you're trying to say, right?
So
they use these densely populated areas. That's
where do they attack from? Where do they do their operations out of?
That's what you're trying to say.
Civilian areas.
Densely populated. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so when you say, great, now that you've answered, when you say Israel's attacking these civilian areas, where would you like them to attack? If that's all they have left, and that's where Hamas attacks from, what would you like Israel to do instead?
Dude, they have shootouts in these ruins, these dirt piles of buildings that are just destroyed. Okay, there's refugee camps set up, and the crazy part is they're bombing these camps full of. There's no soldiers over there. The soldiers,
Where was Mohammed Def killed? Mohammed Def, he was one of the leaders of Hamas. Where was he killed?
I know one of the leaders.
If you don't know, just say you don't know.
He was killed in a building. I don't know, but I know one of them
it wasn't a building. That's actually incorrect. No.
One of them was killed in a building.
I'm talking about Mohammed Def. Where was Mohammed Def killed?
Look, one of the leaders was killed.
Where was Mohammed Def killed?
He was shot, and then they bombed the building with a drone.
Where was Mohammed Def killed?
Inform me.
He was the leader of the military wing of Hamas at the time before he was killed by Israel. He was in the Al-Mawasi zone, which is the only major refugee zone during this war. right? He was in there. So when you say, oh, there's no soldiers there, dude, not only are you wrong, the leader of the military wing of Hamas was there, dude. It was the main guy. And on top of that, when you say refugee camps, these places aren't actually refugee camps. That's the name of the city. Like, for example, Rafah Refugee Camp has been a refugee camp since 1948. It's the name of the city. Like, it's literally the city is called Rafah Refugee Camp. It's not a refugee from this war. That's just what they call it because they like to trick people like you. When a new war starts, you read headline, Rafah Refugee Camp bombed by Israel. And you go, oh my God, why are they bombing a refugee camp? That's the name of the city. The city is named Rafah Refugee Camp, Jabalia Refugee Camp. These are city names. The real refugee camp for this war was the Al-Mawasi zone, which Mohammed Def was in when he was killed. What do you think about that?
It's like whatever you're saying. Like, I can't lie. I'm zoning out when you're talking. Like, it's just loops.
I bet you are.
It's just loops.
I bet
it's
you
just
are.
loops. Like, you're rambling.
That's
dude.
why
You're
you're on
just
the pro-Palestinian
rambling
side.
and rambling.
That's why you're on the pro-Palestinian side.
Oh yeah, dude. Is that a black
He just admitted to
Israelite
it.
leader? Is that a black Israelite leader in the background?
No, that's the king of Somaliland. But why are you changing the subject?
That guy looks pretty familiar. I don't know, but
He's a
my
king,
point
so
is,
you should know who he is.
when
but
there's
whatever.
when there's videos of kids literally blown to bits and a bunch of tents destroyed and people dead, and you see people even starving or
I
dying
agree.
of
Hamas
thirst.
should stop hiding behind civilians. It's disgusting. Do you think Saudi Arabia should be dismantled?
So
Just out of curiosity.
I don't have nothing. I don't know what to say about all that. But my point is,
The reason I ask is because Saudi Arabia has blockaded Yemen for over 10 years, and over 250,000 women and children specifically have been killed just by starvation. I'm not even counting bombings that they've killed women and children. Just starvation alone, 250,000. I just wanted to know, do you think Saudi Arabia should be dismantled because of what they've done in Yemen? Or does that not count? Should we not care about that?
tell me what you think.
Well, I think what Saudi Arabia is doing is wrong, but I would never think that Saudi Arabia should be dismantled. I think that they need to be reined in on what they feel is necessary for their security because of the Houthis and what Yemen has done. I'm not backing up Yemen at all. In fact, if I had to choose, if you forced me to, I would choose Saudi Arabia over Yemen any day. But that being said, I just find it interesting that the hypocrisy of your side, where you guys say Palestine, 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 when Israel has sent in more aid by far into Gaza than any conflict in history, other than maybe the airdrops they did in World War II, but even still, it's on par with that. And so I find it interesting that Israel is not doing good enough when they've done significantly more than anything, at least in modern warfare. By far, it's not even called. Israel has sent more in just a couple weeks into Gaza than Saudi Arabia has allowed into Yemen in like 10 years. That's actually a fact.
Okay, so do you not find it weird that when they send in these aid trucks or whatever, when they send those in, what are the odds? Not to mention they've broken every single, what's it called? What's
Try
the right
getting
word
it out.
for
Get it out. Go ahead.
Every single time that the U.S. has stepped in and made a peace treaty or whatever you want to call it happen, they always break it.
Who?
Israel, bro.
Okay, so the Gaza ceasefire that was started by Donald Trump was broken within 2 minutes by Hamas. They were the first ones to violate the ceasefire. So what are you talking about? So what are you talking
Israel's
about?
been the ones to break more of them.
Israel has
Yes.
not. No,
Yes.
Every single person has died since the ceasefire, or people have stepped near or over the yellow line, which, according to America's ceasefire agreement, if they do that, the IDF reserves the right to take those people out. Every single one has been exactly that since the ceasefire.
Okay. Well, look, you say,
just so you know, that's them breaking the ceasefire and Israel responding to a broken ceasefire. Just FYI.
Okay, I also want to argue just this last thing. Look, you say that Hamas hides behind civilians, right?
Well, they admit it, but yes. Okay, go on.
Okay. So Israel, IDF, they have to drop missiles, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Most of the time it's ground operations, but sure,
Okay.
sometimes, yeah.
Would you agree or disagree that Hamas does not have the same type of military equipment as the IDF?
Of course I agree, but it's also irrelevant. Doesn't really actually
But
matter.
they do or don't?
No, I
Yeah.
agree that they do not have the same type of military equipment, but it's also irrelevant to the conversation. Just because
Okay,
you are a
okay, so
weaker, one second, just because you are a weaker military doesn't give you the rights to violate international law and
no,
then
no,
push it
I know
back onto
that.
Israel when they actually respond to that.
I'm not saying it's okay because they have weaker military equipment, but I am saying
Just
if
irrelevant
that's
to
the
the
case,
conversation.
why can't the IDF? They have higher numbers, they have better military equipment, they have way more tools that they could use.
Right, that's why the civilian death toll is so low.
Why not just go in on foot rather than dropping missiles almost
Just so
every
you know,
single day?
most by far has been on foot. They have not dropped just missiles. Most of it's been on foot. Most of the explosives has been tunnel lineups. So that way, which is on foot, by the way, and they blow up these tunnel areas. How about now I answer your question or ask you a question? Can you tell me why, when Israel said get to the Al Mawasi zone and even helped Palestinians and escorted them because they said Hamas was stopping Palestinians from going down south, how come 500,000 plus Palestinians at the early onset of the war decided to ignore those orders and stay, specifically those that have children? And my actual question is, why are Palestinians the worst parents in the entire world, where they put their children in harm's way? By far, most people that have died, whether they're Hamas or civilians, have been in Gaza City, Rafah, areas that they said these are red zones. You should not be in these areas. You need to go to the Al Mawasi zone. So when you stay here, you're putting your life and, more importantly, your children's life at risk. Why is it that Palestinians are the worst parents in the world and put their children and their lives at risk by keeping them in these red zones?
Well, Israel, I mean, you can't even bring a Palestine flag into the country. Okay, that alone is like a death
That's
sentence.
actually incorrect.
They
The Tel Aviv University has Palestinian flags during protests. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You can just look it up. You can just Google
and
it.
it's waved around. It's waved around by Israel.
They literally protest and they wave the Palestinian flag.
Look, I have.
It's happened multiple times. You're just wrong.
Descent. I have relatives of Palestinian descent.
I don't care. It's irrelevant. You're wrong about what you said.
They live in Tel Aviv. Okay.
Okay.
They
great.
can't. If they come over here, get a Palestine.
Am I ever going to
flag,
get an answer to the question about Palestinians being bad parents?
Okay,
you kind of ignored that.
This relates. No, this relates to it. Okay,
Your family living in Tel Aviv is why Gazans don't go down south?
Look, it connects.
I don't see how, but I'm interested.
Here, if they were to come over here, get a Palestine flag, and try to go back by Tel Aviv, they would get arrested and maybe even killed.
I'm going to show you right now. Yeah.
It's a fact.
Tel Aviv University Palestinian flags.
Okay, see, and it's waved around by Israelis. It's waved around by
this Israelis. This right here is in Tel Aviv University.
Waved around by Israelis.
What do you mean? Those are Arabs. What you would call Palestinians. They're Arabs.
Dude, Palestinians and Israelis look almost identical. You can't. No, those are Israelis.
Wait, I thought Israelis were white European colonizers. Now they're identical?
Don't lie.
So you think that girl is Israeli? You think she's Israeli? The one with the keffiyeh on? The one with the keffiyeh on. How about this guy? I know it's his backside. You think that's an Israeli? I mean, they are Israeli, but you mean Jewish is what you mean to say.
They literally look. Look, I'm Arabian. They look.
So wait, let me get this straight. When they are Israeli, but they're Israeli Arabs, what you call Palestinians. You're saying that and some of them are Jewish, by the way. They're left-wing Israeli Jews that they protest with the Arabs. Hold on. I was in Israel last year. I went to Haifa. Do you know where Haifa is?
No.
Of course you don't. Okay, so Haifa is closer up.
Israel.
Well, there's a lot of places I haven't visited, but I still know where they are. I know where Hong Kong is, but I've never visited China. It's just a stupid point you just made.
Well, yeah,
anyways,
I know about Hong Kong.
Okay, whatever, dude. Anyways, Haifa is a predominantly, I mean, it's about half and half Arab and Jewish. A lot of Arabs in Haifa. It's up north. Like if Tel Aviv's on the coast, you drive up north, that's where Haifa is, okay? Anyways, I was there last year. I have a video on my account if you want to go see it on Instagram, but they were literally protesting in Haifa for the genocide, free Palestine. They had Palestinian flags. There were some Jews. Most of them were by far were Arabs. There were Muslims there, hijabis. You're saying all of that is actually they were secretly Jews. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, so you agree Arabs have flown flags. Okay, cool. So you were wrong. Perfect.
Look.
What is it? Can I ever get the answer to my original question? Why are Palestinian parents so bad at being parents? And why did they not go to the Al-Mawasi zone?
Okay, no, I could say this as a fact too.
You're about to switch the
do
subject
not,
again, aren't
look,
you?
No.
This is crazy.
There is stories.
I'm never
of
gonna get an
people
answer,
going
chat.
over to Israel. They go over to Israel, but
I'm not talking about Israel. I'm talking about Gaza. Why are Gazan
look,
parents?
yeah,
Just answer the fucking question. Why is it that they are not going to the Al-Mawasi zone?
A temper tantrum.
Yeah, because you're really like you're avoiding every question.
It's as simple
because
as
you're
that,
avoiding every question. Just say I don't know if you don't know.
Look, just listen, and maybe you'll hear something.
What was my question? Can you repeat my question back to me?
Why are Gaza parents so bad?
Specifically, like that's not my question. That's like half of it. What specifically?
Why do they keep them in the red zone?
Okay, again, why don't they go to the Al-Mawasi zone? My question is why. It has nothing to do with Tel Aviv. It has nothing to do with Haifa. It has nothing to do with Israel proper. This is Gaza. All Gaza. Al-Mawasi zone is in Gaza. Why don't they go to the Al-Mawasi zone? Why do they keep their children in the red zones like Gaza City, Northern Gaza, Rafah? Why do they stay there?
Dude, Israel has done nothing but set up traps. Why are they going to trust Israel?
Israel helped escort them to those lands because Gazans were saying that Hamas was stopping them from going. So great. Can you just answer my question? Over 1 million people went to the Al-Mawasi zone. None of them had traps. How come they figured it out, but these 500,000 couldn't? How come over 1 million of them figured it out?
You say over 1 million, but
yes,
I'm sure a countless amount went missing, and it's no
secret. That's wrong. 300 NGOs. Nope. You can just Google it. This is wrong. Nope. You're just wrong.
It's a fact.
Nope. 300 NGOs are in the Al-Mawasi zone. They accounted for all of the Palestinians. This is just wrong. You're just wrong. You're literally wrong. So you're saying every single NGO, even pro-Palestinian NGOs, are all? Yeah, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. So every single NGO is lying. Every single one is lying. So you're saying they're all lying, including Palestinian NGOs that are pro-Palestinian and run by Palestinians. They're all lying. Even though they've accounted for these million people going into the Al-Mawasi zone, they're all lying?
I will say this.
No, I want an answer to the question. Why are Palestinian parents so awful, and why have 500,000 of them decided to not go to the Al-Mawasi zone?
Look,
if you answer anything else, I'm just going to keep interrupting until I don't care. I don't care. This is stupid. You have no proof of this.
It's true.
You're just crashing out. You're just a Muslim doing taqiya right now.
Dude,
I just want an answer to the question, or you can say I don't know.
Temper tantrum.
Because of course, because you're not answering a damn question. You're just ignoring it. You're acting like a Muslim doing taqiya.
No, you're just throwing a temper.
That's great. Can you answer why 500,000 Palestinians decided to not go to the Al-Mawasi zone? You originally said the millions went missing. That's not true. NGOs, including UNRWA. Do you know what UNRWA is? Do you know who UNRWA? No, none of them have. Nope, none of them have. None of them have. None of them have. Literally none of them have.
Okay.
So can you tell me, do you know who UNRWA is? Do you know who UNRWA is? Great. Do you know who UNRWA is? Do you know who UNRWA is? Okay, they're a Palestinian UN organization. They've accounted for those that are in the Al-Mawasi zone. They accounted for how many have left, made it there. They did not go missing. You're literally just lying. Or you think that Palestinians are lying too, which is insane. So can you tell me how many went missing then? If you know, tell me how many. Just give me a general estimate.
I said countless for a reason.
Yeah, just give me a general estimate. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just a general estimate. Just a general estimate.
Countless.
Yeah, general estimate.
Means it is not counted, but it's countless. Okay.
Yeah, countless would actually mean such a high number that it's countless. Like you're actually saying it's so high.
Same thing.
So of the million that went there, you're saying more than 50% of them went missing?
50.
How about 20%?
That's too high.
10%.
Maybe 20%.
Okay, 20%. So you think 200,000 went missing? That's greater than the entire death toll since the past 2.5 years.
That's completely possible. That's completely.
It's not, because the entire death toll for the past 2.5 years is 72,000.
No, it is very possible.
So you think the possible that missing is higher than the entire death toll for 2.5 years? How is that possible?
Repeat.
Sure, no problem. That is higher than the entire death toll for 2.5 years of warfare. You're saying that in just a matter of weeks, 250,000 or 200,000 went missing. Can you tell me how that's higher than the entire death toll, but it's still possible? Can you explain that? You're really bad at numbers, aren't you?
No, I'm just like I'm being so.
This guy is like literally retarded. I feel I gotta be honest. He's like actually retarded.
You speak like a Zionist. You just have that hate in you.
I'm speaking to my chat. They're all calling you retarded.
Yeah, they're all Zionists like you, bro. Look,
There's a lot of Zionists in the
I
chat.
haven't even thrown an insult directly at you.
I
This
don't
whole time.
care. I don't, dude. I don't care.
You've been
No, I don't
you've
care.
been
You're
gripping
retarded.
that
I don't
hair, throwing
care.
a temper
I literally,
tantrum.
I don't care. The
Grown
fact that you
man.
think like, oh my gosh,
Grown
I haven't
man
said
throwing a
anything to
temper
you.
tantrum.
Yeah, you're being retarded. You're instead of throwing
No,
insults, you're
I'm
ignoring
stating
every
what's true.
question.
How
I'm
about
still waiting for the
instead-
answer to the question.
how
Why
about
have
you
500,000 Gazans?
Stop talking with
Why
so
did
much sense.
500,000 Gazans not go to the
How about
Almawasi zone?
instead of watching your Zionist propaganda, you go and look at other
I know
news
more than you.
channels that
I know
show
more than you. I know
uncensored
more than
stuff.
you. I know more than you. I've been to the
You
Gaza
know
envelope.
I
I've been to
mean,
the
but you
restricted
don't-
zones of the Gaza
go
envelope.
watch the
I've been to Area
uncensored
A, B, and
news
C
channels.
of the West
Go
Bank.
watch the
You've never even
uncensored
been there.
things.
I've been there. I know more than you.
Yeah, I have relatives
I
that
know
live
more
over there
than
that
you.
are
I
Palestinian.
know more
They
than you.
tell me
I know more
exactly
than
how it
you.
is
That's
over there.
anecdotal information. That doesn't matter. I've actually studied this. I know more than you by far.
So do you
It's not
want
even
a cookie
close.
by any chance? Do you want a cookie?
No, it's just you telling me to study. I know more than you. Why would I need to study more than you? I know more than you.
No, you know you.
Can I get
what
an
you
answer to
know
my
is-
question? Can I just get an answer to my question now?
What you know is what you see on your Zionist propaganda.
That's
Go
great.
look at
I
the
have read
other news
anti-Zionist books.
stations
I've read Elon Pape.
that
I've
are
read Konstantin
uncensored,
Zarek. I've
that are
read
uncensored.
all of this.
Dude,
I've
go
studied
look at the
Sinwar.
uncensored news stations that aren't.
Do you know who
Zionist
Elon
propaganda.
Pape is? Yes, I read Al Jazeera more than anyone, which is an anti-Zionist organization. I've read B'Tselem. I read.
No. Go watch their news channel.
I do.
Go watch the news
I
channel.
do. I've read Al
Okay,
Arabiya.
so then
I've
you
read
would know that you see-
Mujahideen.
you
I've read
see
all of
little
that.
Kids. You see
Yeah, I've
little
seen
kids
all of
being
it. Now, can you
carried
answer
by
my
their
question?
parents
I
with
know
their-
more than you.
with
I know more than you.
with
I know more
chunks
than
of
you.
their
It doesn't
brain
matter.
hanging out their head.
That's
With
great. I
chunks
don't
of their
care.
brain hanging out.
Can
their
you
head.
answer my question now?
Look at you, bro. You're like the
I just
typical
want an
Zionist,
answer to my question. I don't know why this is so
I don't
hard.
want to answer your question.
Yes,
dude.
because you don't
Arguing-
know.
No,
Because you're on
arguing
the
with
wrong
you,
side.
It's like talking
Because you're
to
on
a
the
brick
wrong
wall.
side. Yeah, that's cool.
It's
That's
like
great.
arguing with a brick
Dude,
wall.
I'm
It's
gonna
just a
win this.
circle,
I'm gonna win
circle,
this.
circle.
It doesn't matter if you try this
You're
whole like
not a witness,
deflection
you're
and
clueless.
obfuscating.
You're a
This is what you're
tool.
doing.
You're a tool.
Right, and yet you're still
Dude,
speaking
you
to
are
me.
the biggest tool.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Anyways,
okay, the
it's
skip
funny
button's
how
right
you
there.
can't answer that. No, I don't want to skip. I want this for my YouTube channel. This is gonna be great. You're gonna look like a fucking
YouTube
retard.
channel.
Anyways, that's great. So can
bro,
you answer?
you
Can you just
Zionists
answer? This is
think
great. Yeah.
you're
Anyways, that's
above
cool.
all. You're not
Yeah. I'm.
above
Oh yeah, we're definitely better than you. That's for sure. I'm smarter than you. You don't know basic numbers. I probably make more than you. I mean, dude, look at you. You can't even fucking grow a
bro.
beard.
What are you streaming on Kick? What are you streaming? Kick, right?
Everything. Just everything.
No, I know you're not streaming on Twitch.
I'm multi-streaming right now.
Okay, definitely on Kick. Okay.
Anyways, can you answer my
Literally.
question now? I don't know why it's so hard. You can
That's
also say
besides
I
the
don't
point.
know, dude. I don't know why you're so.
I look. I would say I don't know, but when you keep throwing insults and acting like a prick, okay.
I
Dude,
did
how
not.
about you
Yeah, no, I
go-
didn't throw
go
insults
find
before.
Netanyahu.
I did
Go
no.
find
I only started throwing
Netanyahu.
insults the second you acted retarded and stopped answering the question.
Okay, yeah.
You're just
yeah,
using it
you-
as an
you started
excuse. You're
throwing a
just using an
temper
excuse to
tantrum.
be. You're just using an excuse to not answer the question. I know why you're not
You
answering.
started-
I wouldn't
you-
answer if I was on your
you
side
just-
either,
you
because
just-
it
you
debunks
just
the
you're
entire
throwing
argument.
the tantrum. You're throwing the biggest tantrum right now.
The problem is
You're
again,
losing it.
great. I couldn't be any more chill. What I'm saying is I understand why you're not answering. I wouldn't answer if I was on your side either, because it debunks the entire narrative. Because if your narrative was correct, then they would have went to the Al-Mawasi zone, and then they could say to the world, look, they're bombing us even when we're over here. But the problem is that they're bombing them when they're in the red zones. So my question was very simple. Why, especially if you're a parent and you have children, because they have to follow you, they don't get a say, why would you stay in the red zone unless you're an awful parent? That's it. Now, if you have another reason, again, I'd be more than glad to hear your reasoning. But you're not answering because you know I'm right.
You claim to be a witness, but you're not a victim of what's going on over there. So you shouldn't speak like you're a victim of what's
He's
going on.
victimizing himself now. Okay,
You're-
oh, you
no,
guys,
no,
yeah,
no,
you guys
I'm
are
not
real big
victimizing
victims.
myself.
Yeah, you're total
I never
victims.
experienced it. I didn't experience
victims.
it. I can't say I experienced it. I can't say I experienced
We
it.
start a
dude.
war
I'm
and
not
now we're
saying I'm a
victims.
victim.
That's great. Can you answer
I'm
my
not
question?
saying I'm a victim.
That's cool.
I'm
Can
not
you answer?
saying
I
I'm a
don't care.
victim at
Yeah,
all.
you're victimizing yourself. Can you answer my
No,
question
no,
now?
no. I'm not victimizing myself. I'm saying the
Jesus
people
fucking
over
Christ.
there,
I don't care.
they're
Great.
the
They're
victims.
victimizing themselves. Got it. Can they answer my question? Can you or somebody else answer? Need to phone a friend? I just want an answer to my question. That's it. Just one question. That's it.
Repeat your question.
Sure. Why did they stay in the red zone instead of going to the Al-Mawasi zone if they were parents, especially?
Yeah, and I told you why would they trust is IDF IDF after
A million of them
all
did, and they
of-
did fine, and they're still alive today. Why is it that the ones that decided not to listen?
I mean, again, they're not.
I mean,
there's a crowd that won't trust the IDF. Why are they going to trust the
okay,
IDF?
and so if you die, that's your
They've
fault.
been They've been
Okay,
kicked out of
perfect.
their
You
homes.
finally answered.
They've
Thank
been
you so
kicked out
much.
of their
Okay,
homes.
I'm gonna mute you real quick. I appreciate you finally answering. Thank you. You just admitted that they keep themselves in danger. And so when they die, that is because of their own choosing. Thank you for finally admitting it, Habibi. I appreciate you. Shave this, dude. It's you can't grow it. You can't grow it. Yeah, I agree. You have a lot of wrinkles right there. That's true. All right. Salam alaikum, brother. Oh, Jesus. I just wanted that answer. Actually, that's not true. I just like fucking with him. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to be real with you guys. If you ask him what 2 + 2 is, I bet he will say blue. Thanks for super chat. And thank you. Katan, did you private your debate with the Armenian girl? I wanted to show my friend part of it. Ooh, I forgot. I didn't tell you guys. Okay, story time. And this is actually pretty interesting. You guys will like this. Let me read this last super chat real quick, though. Yeah, I was like a child who got caught with his hand in the cookie jar and blaming the cat. Yeah, that's fair. So the Armenian girl, I did private it. I got rid of it on Instagram and YouTube. So I asked that girl, like, actually in the chat for that one. I said, like, how old are you? She said she was 19, right? Just because a lot of times I ask in the chat, you guys can't see it because sometimes I have it copy pasted. It's just quicker. Sometimes I ask them in person, but regardless, she said she was 19. Fun fact, she was not 19. She was 17. Now, how do I know? Because her mom actually messaged me on Instagram. Okay. Now, it was actually an interesting conversation I had with her. Now, I do believe her mom. At first, I thought maybe her mom's lying just to get me to take the video down, but she was actually she was pretty lovely. Not gonna lie, she was relatively lovely, and she was speaking to me, and she's like, "Please, can you just like take it down?" She's actually only 17. I told her mom, I was like, "Just so you know, she said she was 19, but I will take it down, regardless if I hated her mom or not, or her. I will still take it down because, again, if it's a minor, it's a minor." Now, if she lies, there's no way, like, I've looked into it. It's not the fault of the streamer. If somebody lies, they lie. But still, I figured it out after. Now, here's the conversation I had with her mom, okay? Her mom was actually very, very upset because I was about to kind of, like, tell her mom, like, what did you teach your daughter to be so hateful? Her mom actually very much was like, she was very upset. And I actually believed her. You could kind of tell about the things her daughter said. She's like, she was pretty much saying, like, this internet, it's like, it's really radicalizing. I did not teach her this way. I'm very upset with the things she said. It was very disgusting and hateful. And this is the kicker. You guys ready for this? She said, just so you know, my mother, we are Armenian, but my mother is Jewish, which means that my daughter is Jewish. Again, they're Armenian, like she said, but they are also Jewish. And I was like, wow. So that's what kind of made me believe her. She was like, I am not okay with the things my daughter was saying. I'm having a real long talk with her. Thank you for, because I told her, I was like, look, I took down the videos. She did say she was 19, and just so you know, I want you to know that, so that way you can also, it's your daughter. You should talk to her about, like, one, not lying about your age, from not minor to minor, right? She said she was going to talk to her. The mom actually, she was either a really, 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 really good actress, or I believed her. I did. I think she was actually coming from an honest place. She seemed like she was actually legitimately upset. She was surprised that her daughter was speaking so, like, hateful. And yeah, that's what happened. Fun fact. So anyways, that's why I went private, you guys. Pretty insane. I also found out that her daughter is trying to be like a psychiatrist. Like, she's into psychology and stuff, and I was just like, you need to change your daughter a lot before she starts working with people, because God forbid if she did do that and she had a client that was Jewish. Is this something that was recorded, Nick? Yeah, it was a video. I actually posted the whole video on my YouTube, and I had some shorts on Instagram. But I took them down because, again, if someone lies about their age, it's not you know, you can post it, but the second you find out someone's a minor, even if it wasn't like, honestly, even if it wasn't like a legal thing, I still would have taken it down. Because again, the mom was nice. She asked nicely. She seemed like she was coming from a legitimate place. So, you know. Sorry, I don't know why. I forgot to tell you guys that, but I've seen a few of you asked about it in the comments, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Anyways. So now you guys know. Now you know. All right, you guys. Leitreol, Lalatov. I'm Israel Chai. God bless the United States of America.